Han Li's Wuxia Adventures. Chapter 1010, Swallowing Spirits. Lin Feng was staring down Chou Jun Luo with his dark pupils. All his friends had burnt alive and were now dead. Those people were close to the Yang clan and Qiu clan, and they had high social statuses. They had strong blood, strong spirits, and good fighting abilities. So many people had attacked and they all failed. The consequences were tragic. Even though Lin Feng's illusion had broken, Lin Feng had still killed them. "Do you still want to kill me?" said Lin Feng. Chou Jun Luo looked distressed. "We're not enemies," said Chou Jun Luo. Lin Feng was surprised to hear that. He smiled mockingly and said, "Why would you want to kill me if we weren't enemies?" "You tried to kill me, so you are my enemy," said Lin Feng, shaking his head. He looked at Chou Jun Luo in a despising way. The other day, Chou Jun Luo had looked at Lin Feng in that same despising way. He thought that with his status, he could humiliate Lin Feng, but in fact, he couldn't. He had lost the first time and now the second time would cost him his life. "Do you know why I didn't kill you before?" asked Lin Feng. Chou Jun Luo suddenly looked full of hope again. "Why?" asked Chou Jun Luo. "You despise me because you have a strong spirit and strong blood. I want to show you my spirit too, and I want you to taste my blood strength," said Lin Feng, laughing indifferently. Chou Jun Luo was petrified. Buzzing sound spread in the air as Lin Feng released his blood strength. It sounded like a furious ocean gushing out. What was Lin Feng's spirit like then? Very quickly, a 9-headed dragon appeared behind Lin Feng. A dragon. He had a dragon spirit. Even if Lin Feng's blood wasn't strong, he would have still be surprised. Lin Feng's ancestor had a dragon spirit. But on top of that, Lin Feng's blood was also strong, dragon blood. Lin Feng's dragon spirit was incredible. It seemed like that 9-headed dragon was going to swallow the world. "Roar!" The dragon roared and threw himself at Chou Jun Luo. Chou Jun Luo was nervous, terrified even. He opened his wings and wrapped himself up. "Humph!" Lin Feng smiled coldly. His dragon opened his mouth and started eating the silver lights. "Kacha, kacha!" The dragon was nibbling the silver wings. He could only nibble at them because they were so hard. "No!" Chou Jun Luo was in pain. His face had turned deathly pale. Bzzz. He opened his wings again, this time he wanted to escape. "Roar!" The dragon roared. Chou Jun Luo started shaking violently. He couldn't move. The dragon was hungry. "Roar!" he was chanting. The heads moved towards Chou Jun Luo and bit him. They were eating his legs, his arms, his entire body. Chou Jun Luo was deathly pale. He was terrified. One of the heads opened its gigantic mouth and ate one of his wings whole. "What are you doing?" shouted Chou Jun Luo furiously. He was going to die. "I let you live because I want to absorb your spirit," said Lin Feng. The dragon opened his mouth again and ate the other wing. "Ah!" Chou Jun Luo gave a horrible shriek. Lin Feng wanted his spirit. "We're done now. See you." "Roar!" Then, the dragon ate Chou Jun Luo, entirely. The dragon moved back towards Lin Feng. Lin Feng slowly closed his eyes and sensed the spirit. Back then, when his spirit was still the celestial Fang spirit, he could already absorb other spirits. Now that Lin Feng had absorbed dragon blood, his dragon was bigger and could absorb stronger spirits. Lin Feng was wondering if he could use all the powers of the spirits he absorbed now. The dragon was curling up behind Lin Feng. At that moment, silver lights appeared and the dragon slowly disappeared. The dragon was turning into the silver wings. "I can still absorb spirits and use them, great," thought Lin Feng. He now had bright and dazzling silver wings protruding from his back. Lin Feng was using Chou Jun Luo's silver wings. Bzzz, bzzz, he started flapping the silver wings. "Let's go," said Lin Feng as he started flying away with incredible speed. In the distance, a boat arrived and stopped. It was Yang Ziyi and Yang Zilan as well as a powerful Zun cultivator. Cho Jun Luo had called them just before dying. "What happened here?" shouted the Zun cultivator furiously. There were no corpses. They had either burnt or were swallowed. They didn't know if Lin Feng was dead or alive either. Chapter 10-11, Problems at the Chios. "There are some silver lights over there, Cho Jun Luo must still be alive," said the Zun cultivator. There was a pale silver light in the distance. "Right, Cho Jun Luo's blood is also quite strong. With his silver winged spirit, Lin Feng couldn't possibly kill him. Lin Feng must have gotten injured and tried to escape, then Cho Jun Luo chased him," said Yang Zilan. Seeing the silver wings lights relieved him. Cho Jun Luo wasn't dead and had called them because he needed some help. Now, he was probably chasing Lin Feng. "Let's go and see if Lin Feng is buried already. To actually take our boat," he was begging for his own destruction. Their boat streaked across the sky in the direction of the silver wings lights. However, halfway across the sky, the silver lights disappeared. "What do you think?" asked Yang Zilan to the Zun cultivator. The Zun cultivator's facial expression was ice cold, no battle energy, and the energy stopped so suddenly. "There's only one possibility, the battle is already over and Cho Jun Luo removed the traces of his energies." "What?" Yang Zilan was surprised and looked upset. "You think that Cho Jun Luo made us come here on purpose and then left," said Yang Zilan coldly. "I wouldn't be surprised. Lin Feng had a boat and 1,000 abstruse crystals, a precious sword and many other precious items. Cho Jun Luo probably wanted all of those for himself," said the Zun cultivator. Cho Jun Luo might have that idea. However, what they couldn't figure out was the silver lights they just saw wasn't actually released by Cho Jun Luo. Yang Zilan looked at the Zun cultivator, he was furious too. Cho Jun Luo was actually this shameless. "Should we continue looking for him?" asked Yang Ziyi coldly. "No need. Cho Jun Luo isn't stupid, he must have planned everything ahead," said the Zun cultivator. Yang Zilan nodded and said, "We know it's him anyway. We can settle accounts at any time." Then, they turned around and left. After they left, in the distance, Lin Feng raised his head. He had changed his face. He took out his mask and had an ice-cold expression. The young siblings wanted to kill him so badly, Lin Feng was furious. "Since you want me dead, I can pretend I'm dead for the time being," thought Lin Feng. Besides, letting them think it was Cho Jun Luo was great, they would want to settle accounts with the Cho clan. Dazzling lights appeared and Lin Feng opened his silver wings again. "My nine-headed dragon spirit can swallow spirits and blood, it's even stronger now. I'm happy I can use the silver wing spirits," thought Lin Feng while flapping his wings. He then streaked across the sky like a meteor. After Yang Zilan returned to his clan, he told many people about how Cho Jun Luo was greedy and wanted their boat. He told everyone Cho Jun Luo had killed Lin Feng and taken his treasures for himself. Lin Feng's death didn't have anything to do with them anymore, it was Cho Jun Luo who wanted to kill Lin Feng and steal his treasures. Besides, those who had gone with him were also from prestigious and rich clans. Now that they were dead, those powerful clans wouldn't be too happy with what Cho Jun Luo had done. Many people spread this gossip. However, Cho Jun Luo and Lin Feng weren't that important. People's favorite topic remained Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's recruitment process. Only a few days were left before it started. In Tianjing City, there were many strong cultivators. Many disciples from rich and powerful clans were there already, disciples of the Yang clan, of the Chiu clan, of the Lin clan. But potential candidates did not only travel from the northern part of Ba Huang province, there were also those from other parts of the province who belonged to influential groups, for example the Yi clan from the western part of Ba Huang province, the Man clan from the eastern part of Ba Huang province and so on. Apart from them, there were other imperial cultivation disciples sent by their own teachers, emperors, to congratulate Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu for their initiative. After Qiu Yu Xian left, the coldness didn't disappear from her face. People couldn't even talk to her or get close. The Qiu clan was a prestigious and powerful clan and Lin Feng was a nobody. Qiu Yu Xian didn't need to go and see her grandfather, she already knew he would never accept their union. They thought that with Qiu Yu Xian's natural abilities, beauty and social background, she had to be married with a genius from Ba Huang province who had a very high social status. Otherwise, the Qiu clan would lose face. Xian Yuan would probably rank first amongst Tian-level cultivators at the recruitment process. Then, he would ask for Yang Ziye's hand officially. Qiu Yu Xian was stronger and more beautiful than Yang Ziye, therefore, she had to find someone better than Xian Yuan. If she stayed with Lin Feng, everybody would make fun of the Qiu clan. Next to a lake in Tianjing, someone was sitting, fishing. Nobody knew what he was thinking, but they looked majestic and dignified. "Come and see me," said the old man at that moment. After a short while, Qiu Yu Xian's third uncle walked up to the old man and said, "Father. What do you think of all this?" asked the old man. "Father, our clan is one of the most prestigious in the north. We've never considered weak by anyone else. The Yang clan and the Xian Yuan's clan are going to fuse soon. Yu Xian is one of our strongest and most outstanding children, she can't marry an ordinary man. Everybody will laugh to death if we accept," said Qiu Yu Xian's third uncle. Birds of a feather flock together, that was the rule applied by powerful clans, including the Qiu clan. Yu Xian is quite stubborn and quite cold. There are many outstanding men who are interested in her but she doesn't like them, I don't know why. Surprisingly, she's interested in an ordinary person. We can't make her change her mind though. Sighed the old man. "Father, you mean," said the uncle coldly. "Go. Don't let her know you did it." Qiu Yu Xian's third uncle smiled and said, "Father, I already took the initiative. When I asked Yu Xian to come, some people attacked him. Not only people I sent but members of the Yang clan as well." The old man frowned, shook his head and said, "I will ask your brother to go and see. If it worked, Yu Xian will need to be cheered up. If it didn't work, you can do as I said, go now." "Understood, father," said Qiu Yu Xian's third uncle and left. So many cultivators of the 5th Tian Qi layer had attacked Lin Feng, he had to be dead. The uncle had already planned everything. Chapter 10-12, Qiu Yu Xian's fury. After Qiu Yu Xian left, she went back to her room in the courtyard. Lin Feng wasn't there, which made her heart pound. She felt very nervous now. Her entire life, she never thought she'd find someone she liked, but life was mysterious and she had met Lin Feng who she immediately developed feelings for. After that, that familiar feeling when she was with Lin Feng had grown stronger. It was so mysterious, she couldn't explain why she felt like that. Now, Lin Feng had disappeared. She didn't stop. She immediately looked for hints of Lin Feng's whereabouts. Very quickly, she heard about Lin Feng's battle and she was furious. Her eyes were filled with tears, but she forced herself to calm down. She felt like she was going insane. She decided to go to the lake. Qiu Lin, Qiu Mei and some others had just left the lake. Their father had asked them to go and find out about Lin Feng, to see if he was dead or not. They weren't very far when they saw a white silhouette arrive. It was Qiu Yu Xian and she looked furious. How cold, thought Qiu Mei and Qiu Lin. Qiu Yu Xian's qi was piercingly cold. She looked enraged even. "Yu Xian, sister," said Qiu Mei with a resplendent smile. However, despite her smile, she looked nervous. Bzzz. A moon appeared in Chiu Yuxian's back. That moon was piercingly cold, just like her chi, and like her mood. Autumn moon spirit. Chiu Mei and Chiu Lin were scared. Chiu Yuxian's first reaction upon seeing them was to release her spirit. Chiu Yuxian was the only one in the family who had an autumn moon spirit. Her blood had undergone a transformation at birth. Yuxian, sister, what are you doing? Chiu Lin and Chiu Mei looked scared. If Chiu Yuxian released her spirit, it was because she wanted to fight. Bzzz, her moon spirit diffused pale lights which surrounded them. They felt cold, as if they were going to freeze. Chiu Yuxian's clothes were fluttering in the cold breeze. She raised her hands and a full moon appeared in her hands, solitary and cold, just like her. Yuxian, sister, what are you doing? Chiu Lin and Chiu Mei's bodyguards released a terrifying chi and blocked Chiu Yuxian's spirit. Those who try to confront me will die, said Chiu Yuxian coldly. She raised her hands and two moons appeared, they combined into a gigantic moon and shot out towards the attackers. Yuxian, sister, shouted Chiu Mei and Chiu Lin. They were astonished that Chiu Yuxian was attacking them, after all, they were family. Boom, the two bodyguards flew away. More people tried to stop her, so she glared at them while shouting, I'll repeat myself once more, those who try to stop me will die. Her autumn moon rose up in the air once more. It was oppressing Chiu Mei and the sensation was very painful. You want to kill your family because of a stranger. You're insane, shouted Chiu Lin furiously. He took out a talisman and broke it. Chiu Yuxian's moon was oppressing the bodyguards, and they felt like they were going to be crushed under the pressure. They knew how strong Chiu Yuxian was. They never thought that they'd have to fight against her though. Some people in distance were watching the fight, astonished. Chiu Yuxian was attacking Chiu Lin and Chiu Lin, but why? Had she gone insane? Boom boom, explosions sounded as the Tian-level bodyguards couldn't stop Chiu Yuxian's attack. They were all propelled away. Why? Shouted Chiu Mei furiously. Chiu Yuxian glanced at her coldly, but didn't reply. Did she need to answer such a question? Chiu Mei's father had taken Chiu Yuxian away and when she went back she couldn't find Lin Feng. He had been killed, that was perfectly clear. Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi killed Lin Feng, shouted Chiu Mei furiously. Chiu Yuxian stopped and said, they helped. They did it, it has nothing to do with us, replied Chiu Mei. How could you even know, said Chiu Yuxian coldly. Her full moon appeared again and Chiu Lin and Chiu Mei's faces turned deathly pale. Stop, shouted a furious voice which startled Chiu Yuxian. Chiu Mei and Chiu Lin suddenly looked relieved. Finally. Father, save us, shouted Chiu Mei. Even though Chiu Yuxian stopped, she still had murder in her eyes. She released more moons as well as her godly awareness. Chiu Mei was incredulous. Her father was coming and Chiu Yuxian continued attacking them. She was actually insane. Chiu Mei, godly awareness, shouted Chiu Lin, which made Chiu Mei come back to her senses. She finally reacted and released her godly awareness at the same time as Chiu Lin. Blocking Chiu Yuxian's godly awareness was difficult. Boom boom. An ice-cold energy attacked Chiu Lin and Chiu Mei's godly awareness. They both groaned in pain as blood splashed from their mouths. They looked very pale now. You're insane, shouted Chiu Mei's father. Incredible energies surrounded Chiu Yuxian's body and made her fly away. Her clothes were ripped apart and she was wounded. She recalled her godly awareness and looked at her third uncle, Chiu Hao, you're shameless. You better protect them carefully, if I see them again, I'll kill them, said Chiu Yuxian. Then, she turned around and left. Chiu Hao pulled a long face. Chiu Yuxian actually threatened him. Do you think you can leave just like that? Chiu Yuxian just replied, if I die, you'll die too. Xiu Hao just looked at her back, petrified. She was absolutely insane. What a disrespectful young woman. However, he couldn't touch Chiu Yuxian. Chiu Yuxian was threatening to kill his children, but he couldn't touch her because of her position in the clan. Chiu Yuxian disappeared in the distance. Xiu Hao and the others were still upset. Xiu Hao's father arrived as fast as he could, only to see Chiu Yuxian flying off in the distance. Father, she's insane, said Xiu Hao. Because you're reckless, shouted the old man furiously. If someone killed Xiu Mei's boyfriend, how would you react? Xiu Hao, Xiu Mei and Xiu Lin didn't say anything. Surprisingly, the old man was defending Chiu Yuxian. Even though they really were reckless, they hadn't thought Chiu Yuxian would react like that. If the boy isn't dead, I wish I could see him, at least to make Yuxian happy again, whispered the old man. Be careful in the future, don't make Yuxian furious again. Let her calm down, all she needs now is time. And Xiu Lin, Xiu Mei, don't go out alone. Xiu Hao and the others were sulking. Chiu Yuxian was free to go outside, but not Xiu Mei. You killed the boy whom Yuxian loved, she deserves some compassion, said the old man before leaving. Father, Grandpa also wants to him dead, said Xiu Lin. Shut up, shouted Xiu Hao furiously. Lin Feng was dead and the old man defended Chiu Yuxian who was depressed, that was only normal. Chapter 1013, Hostage and Battles. There were many people at the foot of Tiantai. Even more people were trying to get up the stairs now. Many people now knew that the last 81 steps were the hardest ones and that they were divided into 9 groups of 9. Many people were injured while stepping on the 17,919th step, so nobody dared act carelessly anymore. Many people tried to go up, but nobody managed to because a sadhu appeared at the top and told them it was forbidden. That flight of stairs is terrifying. I wonder how cruel the last 81 steps are. A group of young people drew everyone's attention at that moment. The young men were extremely handsome and the young women were very beautiful. That group consisted of members from the Yang clan as well as their friends. The 9 last groups of stairs must be very difficult, but for you, Zilan, it mustn't be a problem at all, said someone. Young Zilan smiled in a resplendent way. During the exam, he would be the only one to succeed and everybody would look at him gasping with admiration. Even though I'm very strong, I'm still far from being as strong as Xian Yuan, said Yang Zilan smiling. Xian Yuan was a beast. Even though Zilan and Xian Yuan had both broken through to the 7th Tian Qi layer, Zilan was a lot weaker than Xian Yuan. Zilan, you're not that weak. Besides, Ziyi and Xian Yuan are going to get married. The more glorious he is, the better for you, said someone else. Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi both smiled in a proud and magnificent way. Bzzz, a cold energy suddenly surrounded them. Yang Zilan and Yang Ziye's smiles suddenly became rigid. They turned around and saw a moon shooting towards them with incredible speed. You want to die, shouted the one who had just complimented Yang Zilan, but he didn't have time to react as he suddenly died. Everybody was astonished and many people moved aside. Nobody thought that life and death battles would take place there. Chiu Yuxian. Yang Zilan recognized her and shouted. Scorching sun, kill the moon, shouted Yang Zilan furiously. A burning sun appeared in his hand and moved towards Chiu Yuxian. The moon and the sun were antagonist forces, so they each faded when they ran into each other. However, buzzing sounds continued to spread in the air. The crowd was trembling. Chiu Yuxian had released another autumn moon. What's going on? The Yang clan and the Chiu clan are fighting? That's insane. Many people were wondering what was going on, but at the same time, they were excited. They really wanted to know why Qiu Yuxian was attacking them. Besides, several influential clans might get involved. I heard that the one Qiu Yuxian loves, a man called Lin Feng, rescued Yang Ziyi in the middle of the Huang Sea, but asked for their boat in exchange. The Yang clan couldn't accept that and has been trying to kill Lin Feng ever since. Then, a short time ago, Chou Junluo killed Lin Feng, and since Chou Junluo and Yang Zilan are friends, that must explain why Qiu Yuxian wants to kill them. Many people trying to guess what was going on. From the below, everybody could see the battle clearly. There were many people on the flight of stairs, so the news spread quickly. The Yang clan and the Qiu clan were fighting. After learning how to use the silver wings, Lin Feng went back to the hotel, but only found Xiong Qi. Xiong Qi told him that Qiu Yuxian had gone to look for him. There were many people at the foot of the flight of stairs of Tiantai, therefore, going to look over there was probably the most logical thing to do. So Lin Feng decided to head that way. Lin Feng raised his head and saw many people in the sky. What's going on there? Don't you know? The Qiu clan and the Yang clan are fighting because Lin Feng was killed. Qiu Yuxian is furious and almost killed Qiu Mei and Qiu Lin. Unfortunately for her, Qiu Hao intervened. Then, Qiu Yuxian came here to kill Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi. Maybe Lin Feng was killed by someone sent by Yang Zilan, explained some stranger to Lin Feng. Qiu Yuxian wanted to kill her own family members and the Yang siblings because of him. What a woman, Lin Feng was surprisingly cheerful. He hadn't thought that Qiu Yuxian loved him so much. Maybe the Qiu clan would let Qiu Yuxian off, but the Yang clan wouldn't. Lin Feng raised his head, the energies didn't affect him at all. Lin Feng's heart was pounding from her sentiment. Lin Feng flew quickly to find out that the fight had already stopped. Qiu Yuxian was bleeding and the Zun cultivators of the Yang clan were surrounding her. They had already injured her. Qiu Yuxian, you're insane. I've always respected you and surprisingly you want to kill me. Do you want my clan to hate yours? Asked Yang Zilan coldly. You're a shameless coward, screamed Qiu Yuxian. Lin Feng saved your little sister and you've been trying to kill him this whole time. You're shameless. We have the same cultivation level and you won't fight me on your own, instead, you made the strong cultivators from your clan attack me. You're not a man, you're a shameless coward. Qiu Yuxian humiliated Yang Zilan, which made him furious. He had been trying to kill Lin Feng the whole time, but kept failing, then Chou Junluo had managed to kill Lin Feng. In the end he had stolen Lin Feng's treasures too, now he didn't dare fight Qiu Yuxian. The worst fact was that his blood wasn't that strong because he hadn't had sex with that many women. All in all, he was much weaker than Qiu Yuxian. Yang Zilan was quite unlucky these days. He was now furious because of what Qiu Yuxian said. I've always been polite, but you surprisingly dare attack and humiliate me. You're ridiculous. If the Qiu clan doesn't give us an explanation, you'll be staying with us, said Yang Zilan coldly. Capture her. A Zun cultivator released incredible qi. Lin Feng was furious. A Zun cultivator was humiliating Qiu Yuxian, how unfair. Maybe even worse things would happen to her if they captured her. Lin Feng looked around him with incredible anger. Die, said Qiu Yuxian to Yang Zilan. She released her godly awareness straight at Yang Zilan. You want to die, shouted the Zun cultivator furiously. He released his godly awareness and enveloped Qiu Yuxian's moon-shaped godly awareness. Slash, at that moment, silver lights appeared and someone threw himself at Yang Ziyi. He had dazzling silver wings. What? Yang Zilan was astonished, someone dared attack Yang Ziyi. He shouted furiously, try if you dare. However, that person flapped his silver wings and a hurricane appeared. At the same time, he took Yang Ziyi and left with her. The Yang clan hadn't thought that someone would try to protect Xiao Yuxian if they attempted to kidnap her. Chapter 1014, Humiliating the Yang clan. Lin Feng flapped his silver wings and ran away with incredible speed. He was holding Yang Ziyi. It seemed that if she moved, she could die from the wings instantly. Silver Winged Spirit, Chou clan, who are you? Said Yang Ziyi coldly. Surprisingly, members of the Chou clan actually kidnap her. That was unimaginable. Did you hear that Jun Luo is dead? Said that person coldly. Yang Zilan was quite surprised. What are you talking about? Chou Jun Luo killed Lin Feng, stole his treasures and left with them. Why are you saying that he's dead? Humph, people of the Yang clan are so shameless, said Lin Feng. They thought he was a member of the Chou clan, so Lin Feng played along. The more tensions between their clans, the better. Lin Feng saved your sister and you still act so shamelessly. You sent Jun Luo and the others to kill him, to help you all because you wanted your boat back. You used my brother, Jun Luo. He broke the talisman to tell you he was in danger, but you didn't come, you let him die. You shameless bastard, shouted Lin Feng furiously so that everybody could hear. Yang Zilan and the others looked upset. Everybody knew that the Yang clan wanted to kill Lin Feng, but it wasn't official. Now, surprisingly, one of Chou Jun Luo's brothers was there, exposing the truth. The Yang clan was losing face. Chou Jun Luo broke the talisman and died. Yang Zilan was surprised. He thought Chou Jun Luo had stolen Lin Feng's treasures and escaped. Now, his brother was saying that Chou Jun Luo was dead. Indeed, he died, said Lin Feng coldly. Yang Zilan could see that Chou Jun Luo's brother was furious. What about Lin Feng? Asked Yang Zilan. If Chou Jun Luo was dead, what about Lin Feng? He died too. Everybody died, it was a total destruction. Jade and stone burned together, said Lin Feng coldly. Xiao Yuxian's heart was suddenly crushed. He was dead. There was no hope anymore. She started crying. Lin Feng looked at her, his heart hurt so bad, but he couldn't do much. If he told her anything, everybody would know who he is. Jun Luo was my friend. I'm so sad to learn that he's dead. Besides, Lin Feng killed him. Why would you take my sister as a hostage? Said Yang Zilan in a gentle way, because he was now scared for his sister. Yang Zilan, don't you think you're acting ridiculous? You're shameless. You make me want to puke. My brother died because of you and you dare spread rumors about him and tarnish his reputation. That's what you do to your friends. You tarnish their reputation when they're dead, said Lin Feng. He was secretly exulting. He felt like he was secretly spreading poison amongst all those people. Maybe I was wrong, but I didn't know that Jun Luo was dead. Now that I know, I will do what I can for the Chou clan to forgive us. Let my sister go and our clans will stay friends in the future, said Yang Zilan gently. Friend? Lin Feng saved that girl and took her home, that's how you treat your friends? Said Lin Feng mockingly. Yang Zilan was getting furious and impatient by this point. Everybody would think that his clan was only shameless. Don't be selfish. Think about your clan, said Yang Zilan coldly. He was starting to threaten that person. My clan will kill shameless people like you because you're inferior to us, said Lin Feng fearlessly. If a great war started between the clans, that would be great. You want to die, said Yang Zilan releasing energies. Lin Feng flapped his silver wings and Yang Ziyi shouted in fear. She was wounded. You're scared too. Unfortunately, when someone tried to save you, you didn't show how grateful you were, said Lin Feng mockingly. Yang Zilan recalled his energies. Lin Feng smiled coldly. He had tarnished Yang Zilan's reputation and created tensions between the Yang clan and the Chou clan. Qiu Yuxian has done nothing. Let Miss Chiu Xian go, said Lin Feng indifferently. Yang Zilan was speechless. Lin Feng was still holding Yang Ziyi and now he was asking them to liberate Chiu Xian. Don't you think that you're going too far, said Yang Zilan. However, Lin Feng was still holding Yang Ziyi so Yang Zilan couldn't do anything. Ah! Yang Ziyi shouted again, blood dripped down her throat. Yang Zilan looked at Lin Feng with murder in his eyes. The crowd was astonished. The Chou clan had some insane people. They kidnapped Yang Ziyi and then threatened the Yang clan. That guy had balls. I will not repeat myself again, let Chiu Xian go, said Lin Feng. Yang Zilan didn't know what to do, but in the end, the members of the Yang clan flew away and let Chiu Xian go. Chiu Xian looked at Lin Feng, she didn't understand why that person was helping her. She nodded at Lin Feng and also flew away. Now, let my sister go, said Yang Zilan coldly. Not yet, said Lin Feng with a cold smile. He looked at Yang Zilan and said, take out your boat and remove the connections you have with your boat. Yang Zilan looked furious. That guy wanted his boat. The crowd was astonished too, but they were excited. Things were getting interesting. Yang Zilan, are you that shameless? Would you let your sister die because of a boat, said Lin Feng mockingly. Yang Zilan said, if I give you the boat, you must release my sister. Of course, said Lin Feng nodding. He had saved Chiu Xian and was taking another one of their boats. Not bad. The two siblings wouldn't have a boat after that, they wouldn't be able to escape dangers in the future. Yang Zilan shook his hand and a boat appeared. He immediately removed his connections to the boat. Take it, said Yang Zilan. That boat was incredible and was worth a lot of abstruse crystals. Lin Feng established a connection between him and the boat. In a flash, the boat became alive again. He flapped his silver wings and landed on the boat. However, the silhouettes of the strong cultivators of the Yang clan flickered, they wanted to stop Lin Feng. They also released a powerful energy. You can let her go now, said Yang Zilan coldly. If I let her go in these circumstances, you'll just kill me. Why would I ask for the boat if it was to die 5 minutes later, said Lin Feng with a cold smile. What do you want? Asked Yang Zilan in a piercingly cold way. Let me pass, said Lin Feng coldly. If I let you pass but you don't let my sister go, what will I do then? If I kill your sister, you'll go insane. I'm not that cruel. I have everything I want now, so let me pass. I will let her go. Yang Zilan remained silent and said, if you don't let her go, I guarantee you that you will not leave Tianjin City. Yang Zilan waved at the strong cultivators telling them to move away. Lin Feng moved away with the boat and about 10,000 meters away, he said to Yang Zilan with a cold smile, you better not come to the Chou clan, otherwise, we'll chop your sister's body into 1,000 pieces. He then flapped his wings, threw Yang Ziyi away at Yang Zilan and left with the boat. In a flash, he disappeared. What a humiliation for the Yang clan. Go back to the clan and inform them about what happened, said Yang Zilan coldly. People shivered. They understood, things looked bad for the Chou clan. Chapter 10:15 Incredible people. Lin Feng traveled far away with the boat before changing his face again. He also recalled his silver-winged spirit. That way, the one who had saved Chiu Xian, kidnapped Yang Ziyi and stole Yang Zilan's boat had disappeared, and the only ones to blame would be the Chou clan. Lin Feng then went back to the hotel. He wanted to see Chiu Xian. Had she gone back to the hotel? Lin Feng released his awareness and inspected the surroundings. Someone was in Chiu Xian's room, she had probably come back. Lin Feng smiled and put the mask he was wearing back on. Then, he opened her room and saw Chiu Xian. She was sitting on her bed and looked furious when she saw someone open her door. What? When she saw it was the one who had helped her a moment before, she stopped releasing her energies and said, "Thank you for helping me, but this is my room and coming in like that is impolite." "I like you, I want you and me to be very close," said Lin Feng with an indifferent smile. Qiu Yuxian looked at him coldly and released her energies once more. "Be respectful," shouted Qiu Yuxian furiously. That person actually disrespected her. Lin Feng laughed and continued walking towards her. "If you make one more step, I'll kill you," said Qiu Yuxian. However, Lin Feng laughed and continued walking towards her. "You're a pervert," said Qiu Yuxian standing up. She then punched the air in Lin Feng's direction. Lin Feng released strength and punched as well. Boom boom, a crackling sound spread in the air. "Seal," shouted Lin Feng. "Sealing strength." Qiu Yuxian stopped briefly. She had seen that attack before. The sealing strength surrounded her and she could barely move. Lin Feng got close and put his arms around Qiu Yuxian. She fixedly stared at him. "I've liked you for so long and you've already forgotten me," said Lin Feng with a wry smile on his face. Qiu Yuxian couldn't believe it. Was it Lin Feng? Lin Feng wasn't dead. Lin Feng took off his mask and smiled, "Don't you recognize me?" Qiu Yuxian was dumbstruck. Her eyes were red, she still had a cold qi around her. "You bastard!" Her ice-cold energies surrounded Lin Feng. Lin Feng was speechless. "No need to be that aggressive," he thought. "Since you think I'm a bastard, I'm leaving," said Lin Feng smiling evilly. Qiu Yuxian was wondering what he was thinking. Lin Feng slowly lowered his head, "That bastard." She wanted to shout, but Lin Feng kissed her. She just stared at him, she was astonished. Slash, a sound spread in the air. Qiu Yuxian reacted, but Lin Feng was prepared and moved away. "You're shameless." Lin Feng left the room and she chased him. However, she wasn't angry, deep in her eyes, one could see that she was relieved. He was alive. She had to teach him a lesson for not telling her that he was alive sooner. Later that night, it all felt like a dream. Many people had practiced cultivation just for this moment. They had been waiting for that day for so long. It was on this day that Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's recruitment process was going to start. Many strong cultivators had gathered, both Zun cultivators and Tian-level cultivators. For many people, especially the Tian-level cultivators, becoming an imperial cultivation disciple was a dream, a social status, a symbol proving that their future was going to be bright. People would respect them. That was also an opportunity to become stronger faster. For Zun cultivators, it was difficult to become stronger. Each cultivation layer was harder than the last to break through. One cultivation layer, at the level of Zun cultivators, was like Nine's layer at the Tian Qi layer. It was even more difficult for high-level Zun cultivators. So emperors help along this path. Becoming an imperial cultivation disciple was very difficult and the opportunities were very rare. Sometimes, people had to wait 100 years before seeing such opportunities. Therefore, they couldn't let it slip. Lin Feng walked alongside Qiu Yuxian down the flight of stairs but remained speechless. So many people, how would they choose imperial cultivation disciples amongst so many people, said Lin Feng smiling wryly. There were so many people that it was impossible to count them all. It was impossible to even determine the area covered by all those people. There were many geniuses but who would be able to overcome the challenge of the last 81 steps? A few would surely succeed. 2 groups of 9 stairs couldn't be impossible for some of them. People couldn't wait to see the millions of geniuses climb those stairs. That will be spectacular to see all those people climb the stairs, whispered Qiu Yuxian smiling at Lin Feng. I know, right? It will be incredible. Lin Feng nodded. Everybody looked solemn and respectful. They all looked incredibly motivated and determined. Becoming an imperial cultivation disciple, having an emperor as a teacher, if they managed to climb those stairs, they would have an incredible future. Emperors control Ba Huang province. Only people as strong as them can give such heroic feelings to people. Xiao Yu Xian though. Even though she was from a rich and powerful family, she clearly understood that emperors belonged to different and incomparable worlds. Those emperors, if upset, could destroy an entire clan like the Qiu clan or any other. Everybody wanted to become like them. One day, I will become an emperor. And when I order my disciples to destroy the Yang clan, they will do it without hesitation. Nobody will dare offend me anymore, said Lin Feng looking determined. One day, he would become an emperor. If you become an emperor, what will I be? Said Xiao Yu Xian smiling. When I become an emperor, you'll be an empress, said Lin Feng with a resplendent smile. Xiao Yu Xian wondered what it meant to be an empress. Chapter 10:16, Rules, an Empress, what does that mean exactly? Asked Xiao Yu Xian. She was curious and fixedly staring at Lin Feng. An empress is an emperor's wife, said Lin Feng with an incredible smile. Her heart started pounding. She was delighted by the idea. An empress, what a powerful title. It's starting soon, said Lin Feng raising his head. The sun was like a fire. It made people feel determined. We're almost there, nodded Xiao Yu Xian. Bzzz. A sound spread in the air and made people's souls shake. The atmosphere suddenly became calm. Many people raised their heads, looking solemn and respectful. They looked at the stairs which were now illuminated. They looked even more mysterious than before. Qi was flowing through the steps and appeared ethereal. They're different. Lin Feng was astonished. The flight of stairs was different, but Lin Feng didn't know what had changed. Bzzz, another sound spread in the air. People looked even more serious. In the distance, at the top of the flight of stairs, someone appeared. They looked calm, sober. They put their palms together before him like a Buddhist or Hinduist monk. It was a sadhu. Come up, said the sadhu. He was surrounded by golden lights and he looked like a little Buddha. He looks like he can use ancient Buddhist spells. Xiao Yu Xian was very surprised. Lin Feng frowned, he didn't understand so he asked, aren't sadhus Buddhists? What does ancient Buddhist spells mean? Who told you sadhus are Buddhists? Asked Xiao Yu Xian. She then added, sadhus practice self-denial and apply ascetic principles. It is painful and they devote their life to this cultivation. They are pure of heart and have few desires. They shave their heads to avoid being ostentatious. They refuse fame and wealth and other material things. They don't wear clothes for glory, they wear a kasaya. They also recognize that they have flaws. But there isn't just one sort of sadhu, especially in the antiquity. There are differences between sadhus and also between the date of the teachings they received. Two sadhus can be very different but can be very, very similar at the same time. This sadhu's energies are auspicious. He could make people feel calm and serene. It seems that he learnt ancient ascetic practices, that's why I said that, explained Xiao Yu Xian slowly. Lin Feng nodded. He understood. He released golden lights which enveloped the stairs. It was a celestial qi. Some people rose up in the air and their qi was extraordinary. Some people looked proud, some others looked humble, but people clearly understood that they were imperial cultivation disciples, to the extent that some of them were the emperor's direct disciples. As an emperor, other people were insects to them. An auspicious cloud appeared and a few dozen people were on it. Please monitor the exam, thank you, said the sadhu bowing respectfully in front of those people with his palms together before him. No problem. Do what you have to do, said the group to the sadhu. They all knew who he was. There was only one sadhu who followed Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's teachings. Their direct disciples all knew the sadhu. "Thank you for your understanding," said the sadhu politely. He then looked at the crowd and said, "Those who are not participating, please move backwards." He sounded enlightened. Many people moved backwards. The sadhu just had to say a few words and millions of people listened to him. Nobody dared cause trouble. After all, it was an event organized by two emperors. Two groups of people appeared, those behind and those at the front. The sadhu nodded and said, "Today, Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's recruitment process is starting. However, there are too many people. Therefore, the emperors created that flight of stairs to do a first selection. There are 18,000 steps. Those who manage to come up to the 17,919th step will arrive in front of 9 groups of 9 steps. Then, there will be a key. If you manage to take the key, you'll be able to open the door to Tiantai. Only those who manage to do that will be able to move forwards and apply for an imperial cultivation disciple position." The crowd thought, "A key? A key? That seemed too easy." Lin Feng was surprised as well. He had thought the exam only consisted of that challenge. He thought climbing all the stairs would be enough to become an imperial cultivation disciple. The first group of 9 steps was already very challenging. What would the exam be like after that then? After the first challenge, which was already extremely difficult, would it get more difficult? "How difficult, but it's understandable," whispered Qiu Yuxian. "Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu only wanted to look for the strongest geniuses. 81 steps, 9 groups of 9 steps. It's as difficult as reaching the clouds. Climbing one group of steps grants you the possibility to come to Tiantai, but not to continue through to the competition and become an imperial cultivation disciple," said the sadhu, explaining the rules. One group of steps, one key. Without the key, nobody would be able to go up the 9 groups of 9 steps. The crowd sighed. They had to go through 2 groups of steps at least. Those who manage to go through 2 groups of 9 steps will get a different key and will be allowed to continue competing to become an imperial cultivation disciple. If you take one key, you won't be able to get the following keys. Therefore, if you take the 3rd key, you will lose access to the 6 other keys. So don't take a key carelessly. If you can, try to go as far as you can. The more groups of steps you go through, the better key you will get. Try to take a key only if you really can't bear the energies anymore, said the sadhu slowly so that everybody could clearly understand. The 2nd key only allowed one to continue competing. Keys at higher levels offered more opportunities. Many people were wondering what the 9th key had to offer. Of course, many people were wondering what the pressure was like on the last level. "Alright, start now," said the sadhu. Suddenly, many people started running up the stairs. Chapter 10:17, Xian Yuan Success. You only have half a day. Then, the staircase will close and you won't be able to climb the stairs, said the sadhu laughing. A time limit was necessary, otherwise it would take too long. Only half a day. Many people were upset. Many people released pure qi and started climbing the stairs right away. It was incredible. All their energies were so shiny. "Let's go," said Qiu Yuxian. Lin Feng shook his head and said, "We don't need to go now, we still have time." "Alright," said Qiu Yuxian. More and more people were running up and their energies were making them suffocate. The flight of stairs was completely packed with people. "If there weren't 18,000 steps, they couldn't hold so many people," said many people laughing. There were so many strong cultivators, it was incredible. The sun was shining upon all those people and their energies were twinkling. The flight of stairs looked like real gold. Even in normal circumstances, that would already be quite a distance, thought several people. There were already some people arriving before the last 81 steps. Some people are starting to step on the first group of the final steps. Some people gazed into the distance and noticed some people starting the final test of that first challenge. They stopped. They looked nervous. 1 foot first. Finally, a second foot. Bzzz. A bright light illuminated the atmosphere and it was dazzling. That person turned into a beam of light and was propelled far, far away. How scary, the crowd thought. That person crashed onto the ground behind him and he sat down cross-legged and started practicing cultivation. That was a strange reaction. What? Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxian glanced at each other. What was going on? The first time Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxian tried, Qiu Yuxian was wounded but hadn't been propelled that far, to the extent that she needed to practice cultivation to recover. It seems even more difficult than when we tried before. They must be doing that to prevent people from trying a second time. Otherwise, there would be too many people trying all the time, said Qiu Yuxian. Lin Feng nodded. Trying a second time would be troublesome. Although most started running immediately, there were still many people who had the same idea as Qiu Yuxian and Lin Feng. That guy was the first one to arrive at the bottom of the 81 steps, he was faster and stronger than many people, but lost anyways, many people were thinking. Now people weren't feeling as confident as they once were. After that, other people tried. A dozen people were blown away as well. Besides, the key was on the last step of each group of steps. So far, nobody had managed to grab the first key. At that moment, someone arrived near the last 81 steps. His feet seemed to quake like mountains on those steps. People around him let him pass. There was nobody around him anymore. Xian Yuan. Many people stopped and looked at him. Nobody had managed to grab a key so far. I hope he manages to get through all 9 groups of steps, many people favored his victory. If he managed to do that, they'd probably be able to get through 2 groups of steps. Xian Yuan has imperial blood and a powerful blood spirit. He is an extremely gifted fighter as well. His goal is to rank first amongst Tian-level cultivators, said Qiu Yuxian. I know, said Lin Feng smiling. He recognized Xian Yuan. Let's see how many he can do, said Qiu Yuxian. He went up 10 steps in a flash. He was now standing on the first step of the second group of stairs. How strong, thought the crowd sighing. Xian Yuan was incredible. Other people hadn't even managed to walk on the first group of steps. Xian Yuan had directly gone to the second tier. Xian Yuan's hair and clothes were fluttering in the wind. Is he afraid to go up the steps of the second group of stairs, thought the crowd petrified. If Xian Yuan was afraid, what about them? It would be too difficult for them as well. Many people had already failed. Finally, Xian Yuan moved. Even though they couldn't sense what he was feeling, they could imagine. There was an incredible wind around him. Then, suddenly, Xian Yuan went up another 10 steps and arrived on the third group of steps. The crowd was astonished and clenching their fists. Everybody was watching him. Nobody else was trying. He's moving again, thought the crowd. Pure qi was rolling in the atmosphere and surrounding his body. He went up 9 steps, but it seemed even more difficult. At that moment, he was stepping onto the first step of the fourth group of steps, his body started shaking violently. He released blood strength and finally stepped on the fourth group of steps. Arg, Xian Yuan groaned with pain. He released more blood strength and climbed up 10 steps again. He arrived on the fifth group of steps. His blood strength is incredible, thought the crowd. Xian Yuan's body was twinkling with dazzling lights. It seemed like nothing was impossible for him. Boom boom boom. Everybody was gasping with amazement. People's hearts were beating at the same pace as Xian Yuan's. Xian Yuan arrived at the last step of the fifth group of steps. He had the opportunity to take a blue key there, was he going to? Or not? Xian Yuan raised his head. People were feeling nervous for him. Xian Yuan put one foot onto the first step of the sixth group of steps, but took it back. Xian Yuan turned around and looked at the crowd, that's the most anyone can do. Nobody can step onto the sixth group of steps. He sounded extremely confident. He took the blue key and then suddenly disappeared. Chapter 10:18, Insects Defy the Laws of Physics. He's in Tiantai. The crowd was astonished. That key was magical and it served as a magical portal. They also noticed that all the keys had different colors. Did it mean anything? Did it have anything to do with what the sadhu had said, that each key offered different benefits? Xian Yuan is really proud and arrogant. According to him, if he didn't manage to step onto the sixth group of steps, then nobody else could. According to Xian Yuan, nobody could surpass him. Some people were feeling uncomfortable. Xian Yuan was extremely strong and had the ambition to rank first amongst Tian-level cultivators, so what about them? He had put one foot onto the first step of the sixth group and gave up. On top of that, before Xian Yuan, nobody had managed to get any key. The atmosphere became very calm. But very quickly, several people started again. Apart from Xian Yuan, some people managed to get a key, however, it was only the first key. They would be guests in Tiantai, but couldn't continue competing to become imperial cultivation disciples. 2, 3, 4 people managed to get the first key. Many others were propelled backwards, like the first one. All those people sat down cross-legged and healed themselves at the foot of the flight of stairs. Time passed slowly and a few people succeeded. Lin Feng looked at the crowd. More and more people had failed. Lin Feng looked at the sky, there wasn't much time left. 10,000 people had managed to go to Tiantai and only half were eligible to continue through to the competition. There weren't that many people. People from Tiantai were observing quietly. They wanted to see the potential candidates succeed. Those who managed to go to Tiantai are already quite numerous, I think. There are many strong cultivators in this world, said Qiu Yuxian. She sighed, like the master said, this is as hard as reaching the clouds, but still, so many people want to try. Yuxian, you belong to a rich and powerful family, you inherited incredible abilities, you're noble, you've never suffered, how can you understand poor and weak people's feelings, whispered Lin Feng. Weak people can't protect their parents, cowards can't protect their loved ones. When bullied, they can only hope to become stronger. Strong people look at them and despise them and humiliate them, that's the life of us weak people. Qiu Yuxian looked at Lin Feng and smiled, I understand that because that's the world of cultivation. If you're not strong, you can't do much and nobody will respect you. Like those stairs, only the strongest people can make it to the top. The higher you go, the fewer people there are around you. You're right. People like you belong to the lower layers of society, and surprisingly, you dare talk about such profound topics with Miss Qiu, said someone at that moment. Qiu Yuxian and Lin Feng turned around and saw Yang Zilan, Yang Ziyi and some other people. Miss Qiu, I trust you have been well since we last met, said Yang Zilan coldly. He was still angry because of what happened last time. There are always those people who think they're the best, who want to humiliate others, even if they are despicable. Those kind of people are weak yet self-confident. In the world of strong cultivators, those people are trash and are worthless. They don't understand true cultivation principles. They are lucky to have rich families, but all in all, they are nobodies and they end up dead. Lin Feng said as if he hadn't seen Yang Zilan and the others. However, he was implicitly talking about them and Yang Zilan looked furious. You're right, many people end up dying. Very often, your conditions at birth determine the rest of your life. If you come from a rich and powerful family, you can despise other people. If you come from a poor family, you have to take great efforts. What a rich and talented cultivator can do in 10 battles, a poor cultivator can do in 1,000 battles. Unfortunately, those poor cultivators often die in their first attempts. Rich cultivators then look at their corpses in a despising way and then everybody immediately forgets about them, said Yang Zilan. Look at their corpses in a despising way, said Lin Feng with a cold smile. Then, he pointed at Yang Ziyi and said, "She has broken through to the same cultivation layer as me." Yang Ziyi comes from the Yang clan, a prestigious, powerful and rich clan. What you mean to say is that she can despise me because I'll always be weaker. Well, what about a fight between her and I? What? Yang Zilong stared at Lin Feng. He wouldn't have thought that someone would actually challenge his sister. Why not, said Yang Ziyi coldly. She envied Xiao Yuxian who was so much stronger than her. She wanted to show everyone that she was as strong as her. Now, a stranger who was with Xiao Yuxian was challenging her. Xiao Yuxian and Yang Zilong moved away. Yang Ziyi faced Lin Feng. She couldn't recognize him with his mask. I want to see how an unknown and weak person can challenge me, said Yang Ziyi walking forwards. She released blood strength and threw herself at Lin Feng with remarkable speed. Lin Feng condensed invisible strength in his hands and slowly raised them. Boom boom. Lin Feng condensed the force of the earth and sky in his hands and blocked her punch. Yang Ziyi's energies immediately disappeared and her fist felt very sore. She was aghast. How could Lin Feng be so strong? Boom boom. Another explosion sounded as Yang Zilong attacked and destroyed Lin Feng's punch to protect Yang Ziyi. Yang Zilong looked at Lin Feng and asked, "Who are you?" "I'm a candidate to become an imperial cultivation disciple." "So, do you despise people like me?" said Lin Feng smiling. "Proud people are always like that, they think they can despise anyone and in the end, I always wonder why they act so confidently. If such people traveled alone, they'd die quickly. How pathetic." "Shut up," said Yang Zilong furiously. "Insects can also become dragons if they take great efforts, not like incapable show-offs," said Lin Feng mockingly. Then, he added, "Dragons and snakes can't mix. Yuxian, let's climb the stairs." Chapter 1019, Geniuses Together. Yang Zilong looked at Lin Feng and Xiao Yuxian. He was furious. He was really upset about his luck the past several days. First Lin Feng, then the guy from the Chou clan, then this one. He had lost 2 boats and was continuously humiliated. Now, Yuxian was with a new handsome young man who had humiliated him again. That guy had also only broken through to the 3rd Tian Qi layer. Insects can also reach the clouds, you say? Show me how many steps you can climb, said Yang Zilong coldly. Come, let's go too, said Yang Zilong to his group. In the distance, some people saw them. The leader of that group said, the Qiu clan and the Yang clan are going up, how could we, the Lin clan, stay behind? Then, they also started climbing the stairs. I wouldn't have thought that the Qiu clan, the Lin clan and the Yang clan would go up at the same time. Let's go too, said another group of people at that moment. They belonged to the Meng clan, so how could they stay behind? At that moment, 2 people were going up and it seemed like they didn't sense the energies of the stairs at all. They were moving without the slightest pause. Who are those people? Thought the crowd was gasping in amazement. Many people noticed them. Qiu Yuxian and a boy, could it be Lin Feng? Has he been revived? Whispered some people. Everybody knew that Qiu Yuxian had fallen in love with Lin Feng and that she had tried to kill Qiu Lin and Qiu Mei and Yang Zilong to avenge Lin Feng. Yang Zilong and the others are behind them. Many people noticed Yang Zilong and the others too. They were very fast. There are more people behind them. Then, they saw some other people who were moving just as fast. The Lin clan, Lin Roa Tian. Interesting, the Qiu clan, the Yang clan and the Lin clan are climbing together. Some people laughed. They were excited. Who was going to win? Look behind them, there are even more people, said someone else. The Meng clan was behind them all. They're all there. People were gasping with amazement. All those geniuses from rich and powerful clans. They were different from other people because their clans had existed since the antiquity and they had ancient techniques and skills. Their corporeal bodies were stronger as well. They want to prove to each other that their clan is the best, thought the crowd. They couldn't wait to see what was going to happen. It was almost over. Like Xian Yuan had said, neither Tian level nor Zun level cultivators had managed to surpass him. The second best had managed to go up the fourth group of steps only. Could the other famous geniuses surpass him? They're really strong anyways, they don't need to stop on the way, thought the crowd. Even though they knew that they couldn't succeed, they had come anyways to give it a try. For them, arriving near the first group of steps wasn't too overwhelming. In a flash, he reached the second group of steps. He wasn't as fast as Meng Ba, but still, he wasn't too bad. Lin Ruo Tian followed and reached the second group of steps as well. Everybody then looked at Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxian. They both smiled and walked up at the same time. Qiu Yuxian, unlike the previous time, could go up without any problem. Lin Feng wasn't fast but looked extremely relaxed, despite the strong wind. It was incredible to see. It was as if he walking up normal stairs. So easy, said Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxian while smiling at Yang Zilan as they arrived on the first step of the second group. Chapter 10:20, Fourth Group of Stairs, Humph. Yang Zilan smiled coldly. It's only the second group of stairs. No need to think you're strong. Insects can easily make it this far. Let's see if you remain so confident now. Only the second group of steps, said Lin Feng with a cold smile. Last time, your people said you would climb the 81 steps without any problem. You smiled indifferently as if it was obvious. Now, let's see if you can really do it. I trust you can though because you're an incredible genius. I can't wait to see you looking triumphant at the top of the ninth group of steps. You'll despise Xian Yuan then, said Lin Feng mockingly. Yang Zilan heard Lin Feng and was petrified. Xian Yuan put a foot on the first step of the sixth group of steps and had taken it back. From then on, everybody understood how difficult reaching the ninth group of steps would be. Actually, they even understood that it was impossible. Yang Zilan, since you said that, I want to see you do it, said Meng Bao laughing frantically. Yang Zilan pulled a long face and coldly glanced at Lin Feng. Since we're all climbing the stairs together, there's no need to talk shit, let's go together. Let's see how far this insect can go, said Yang Zilan mockingly looking at Lin Feng. Then, he continued going up. Lin Feng shook his head and smiled coldly. Yang Zilan was just ridiculous. Talking to such people was useless. There's no need to take too many efforts. The most important thing is to understand the force of the earth and sky, said Lin Feng gently smiling at Qiu Yuxian who nodded back. Lin Feng was giving her some advice. Their cultivation level wasn't the most important thing at that moment, they needed to understand the exam properly as well. Xian Yuan had imperial blood so he used his particular blood strength to get up the stairs. Nobody else could copy that. Meng Ba was the fastest. He was incredibly strong and had an explosive power. His steps emitted explosion sounds. Very quickly, he arrived on the ninth step of the second group. One more step and he'd reached the third group of steps. Lin Ruo Tian and Yang Zilan were moving at the same speed. Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxian didn't rush and stayed behind. Lin Feng still didn't sense anything. He had practiced cultivation there for 3 days, just a short time before. He understood how the staircase worked. He understood how the force of the earth and sky was used there. Very quickly, they all arrived on the first step of the third group of steps. The next steps were the third group. Lin Feng raised his head. The sadhu hadn't allowed him to come up this high last time, unfortunately. Are you alright? Lin Feng asked Qiu Yuxian. I'm good, replied Qiu Yuxian. She wrapped herself up in pure qi. Yang Zilan and Lin Ruotian did the same. Boom! Yang Zilan and Lin Ruotian started shaking violently. Their pure qi was emitting roaring sounds. They managed to keep their balance and step onto the first step of the third group. "All right," shouted Meng Ba furiously. His hair was fluttering in the wind chaotically. He trampled on the staircase and made it shake violently. "You go," said Lin Feng to Chiu Yuxian. Chiu Yuxian nodded and moved towards the third group of steps. Her hair started fluttering violently and her clothes as well. She looked beautiful. And very quickly, she managed to keep her balance and control the force. "All right," said Chiu Yuxian with a smile. Lin Feng nodded and continued walking too. Everybody thought Lin Feng would get propelled away at that moment, but they were disappointed. Lin Feng stepped onto the first step of the third group too. He was motionless like a mountain. Surprisingly, he managed to come up too, thought Yang Zilan. No wonder they're from rich families, thought the crowd. Apart from all those people, there were other people behind them. Some were still on the second group of steps. "Enjoy it, you're just lucky," said Yang Zilan to Lin Feng coldly. His eyes were filled with hatred. He then turned around and continued. They all continued. Some were slow, some were faster than others. Everybody was expecting to see someone get propelled away, especially Lin Feng. But the crowd realized Lin Feng, just like the others, was going up without any problem. Lin Feng arrived on the last step of the third group of steps but didn't take the yellow key. He moved again. "What is he doing?" thought the crowd, astonished. There were at most 100 people who could go that high. An insect can be resistant but not for long. "In the end, dragons crush insects under their feet," said Yang Zilan, releasing pure qi and blood strength. He started using his blood strength. Lin Ruotian also used blood strength, like Yang Zilan. It was getting too difficult. Chiu Yuxian looked at Lin Feng and used blood strength as well. Boom! Lin Ruotian and Yang Zilan stepped onto the first step of the fourth group of steps. They suddenly felt like they were going to explode and get crushed by those oppressive forces. For a few seconds, it almost seemed like they were going to fail, but finally, they managed to steady their balance. Arg! Meng Ba groaned violently. It was harder for him to reach the fourth group of steps than it had been for Lin Ruotian and Yang Zilan. Yang Ziyi was using her full strength to reach the fourth group of steps. "Let's see if you manage to make it up here," said Yang Zilan to Lin Feng in a despising way. "It seems like one of them will fail. Let's see if Lin Ruotian, Yang Zilan, Chiu Yuxian and Meng Ba will manage to do as good as Xian Yuan," thought the crowd. However, Lin Feng glanced at Yang Ziyi indifferently, ignored her and continued. He started condensing pure qi as well as wind intent. Boom! When Lin Feng stepped onto the first step of the fourth group of steps, he had the feeling he was being attacked. Everybody looked at Lin Feng. It seemed painful. Surprisingly, he had decided to continue. He should have taken the key from the third group of steps. However, Lin Feng managed to keep his balance as well. Lin Feng was using authentic force, the force of the earth and the sky. He did it, thought the crowd. Lin Feng had managed to reach the fourth group of steps. Yang Zilan was astonished too. He kept making fun of Lin Feng, but Lin Feng had managed to make it as far as him. Chapter 1021, Lin Feng defying the skies. Lin Feng was sensing the force of the earth and sky. They were all hanging on there firmly. They couldn't afford being careless, otherwise, they would be crushed under the pressure. "Moron, you can't move any further, go back now," said Yang Zilan coldly. Then, he continued walking up, step by step. He had to stop after each step. "You go first," said Lin Feng to Chiu Yuxian. She nodded and continued going up. She stopped after each step too. She couldn't afford being careless. All the geniuses from the prestigious families have continued to go up, the crowd was amazed. Those people were getting closer and closer to reaching Xian Yuan's record. However, the weakest were probably stuck now, they couldn't go back or forward. Rumbling sounds spread in the air each time they moved up. Finally, 4 of them stopped on the 9th step of the 4th group of steps. They didn't look relaxed at all. Humph. Yang Zilan turned around and coldly looked at Lin Feng. Poor you, you're going to be propelled away, even though you came so far. However, at that moment, Lin Feng smiled mockingly, and it was a huge smile. Lin Feng moved and continued going up. He looked absolutely relaxed, as if he was walking in normal conditions. The crowd couldn't believe it. Lin Feng just walked up to the 9th step of the 4th group, leaving them all dumbstruck. How's that possible? We don't even know him, thought the crowd. Yang Zilan seemed like he had reached his limits, and Lin Feng had done the same as him, but in a more relaxed way. Are you satisfied now? Said Lin Feng indifferently. Yang Zilan looked to suffer more from seeing Lin Feng succeed than from the force of the flight of stairs. He felt weak. He, who's joining me higher up, said Meng Ba with a resplendent smile. The others' faces twitched. Meng Ba wanted to continue. Did he really want to do the same as Meng Ba? You should set reasonable goals. If we can't reach the last step of the 5th group, we'll lose everything. It's better to stop here, said Yang Zilan indifferently. Lin Ruotian remained silent for a few seconds and tried to put a foot on the next step. However, he immediately took it back. Nah, I'm not going, said Lin Ruotian indifferently. Since you're not coming, I'll continue. I'm having fun with this, said Meng Ba. Arg. Meng Ba's clothes were suddenly ripped apart. He groaned as he sensed the incredible force crushing his flesh. He felt like he was going to be crushed. Veins appeared all over his body. Boom boom. Explosion sound spread in the air. Some of his veins actually broke and blood appeared. He looked like a violent injured beast had attacked him. Arg. Meng Ba groaned loudly with pain and continued walking up. It was as if his feet were millions of kilos. He reached the 9th step of the 5th group and grabbed a blue key, then he instantly disappeared. Meng Ba managed to finish the 5th group of steps. The crowd was gasping with amazement. Lin Ruotian and Yang Zilan's eyes were twinkling as well. He's much stronger than you, said Lin Feng to Yang Zilan. Shut the hell up. You're just lucky to be here. You're a tiny, little insect. Yang Zilan snapped back. Lin Feng smiled and released blood strength as well as pure qi. He also started circulating his strength of the Haruka and the Buddha to flow through his body. He then started walking up the 5th group of steps. People were wondering what he was doing. Xiao Yuxian was gasping with amazement. Lin Feng would go farther than her. Boom boom. When Lin Feng set a foot on the 5th group of steps, he sensed that the energies there were much more terrifying, but he could still handle them. He stopped for a few seconds, he looked relaxed, he turned around and looked at Yang Zilan. An insect is standing above you. How do you feel? Lin Feng mocked him calmly. However, people's thoughts were racing. How did he feel? Nobody knew how Yang Zilan felt at that moment. Was he still confident? If I'm an insect, you're even less than an insect. Lin Feng's words were penetrating deep into Yang Zilan's heart. He was less valuable than an insect. Boom boom. Lin Feng's voice kept piercing through Yang Zilan's eardrums as well as the sound Lin Feng's steps made as he went higher up. Lin Feng then arrived on the 9th step of the 5th group of steps. There was the blue key floating there. Astonishing, wouldn't have thought that guy would do as good as Xian Yuan and Meng Ba, thought the crowd. Lin Feng had done what Xian Yuan did. Yang Zilan was clenching his fists. He felt humiliated. We'll see each other in Tiantai in a few seconds, said Qiu Yuxian smiling. Lin Feng shook his head. Qiu Yuxian didn't understand. Lin Feng continued, when Xian Yuan arrived here, he said nobody could go further. Even though he is incredibly strong, he was wrong. What? Did Lin Feng want to surpass Xian Yuan? Go and die, said Yang Zilan mockingly. Shut up, shouted Lin Feng furiously. He then said coldly, you're a weakling and a coward, you're lower than me so don't even talk to me. Yang Zilan was furious. Insects give up easily and are not aware of their own strength. Meng Ba decided to climb the 5th group of steps because he loves challenges. It was challenging for him to get the blue key. Now, I'll go even higher. That's my challenge, said Lin Feng, making people feel vehement. Then, Lin Feng took another step. Boom boom. An incredible force appeared around Lin Feng. His hair was fluttering in the wind, it seemed like he was facing a hurricane. Was he going to fall down? Real cultivators don't give up, real cultivators don't care about material things. They challenge the earth and sky. We know human and earth fusion, I understand the force of the earth and sky, how could the sky be stronger than me? Said Lin Feng looking at the sky. Die. He looked like he was in a trance. It was an extraordinary scene. Chapter 1022, The Force of the Sky. If the sky challenges me, then I accept the challenge. That stranger was insane. His voice was piercing through people's eardrums. They had the feeling they were listening to a madman. Qiu Yuxian was clenching her fists, she was proud. Lin Feng was a real cultivator. He was determined. Yang Zilan and all the other members of the Yang clan pulled long faces. They despised people like Lin Feng, but he had surpassed them, and even Xian Yuan. Lin Feng looked at the sky and groaned loudly. His strength of the Haruka, pure qi and intent were flowing throughout his body. At the same time, he was holding his Tian Xian stone, sensing the force of the earth and sky. The earth and the sky seemed particularly clear and distinct to him. Boom! Lin Feng made another step and stopped for a second. Who had said Lin Feng was doomed? Boom boom! Another step. The scene looked incredible. People's hearts were pounding. Lin Feng was defying the skies. Boom boom boom, one step, another step. Lin Feng arrived on the 9th step of the 6th group of steps. There was a light blue key that Lin Feng could take and he would immediately be transferred to Tiantai. Phew, people took a deep breath. What was Lin Feng going to do? The sadhu had told everyone, the keys were better at higher levels. If Lin Feng took that light blue key, he would probably have an insane advantage, or at least, what he would get would be better than with the blue key. Qiu Yuxian smiled in a resplendent way. She was so happy for Lin Feng and proud of him. Awesome! Take the key, said Qiu Yuxian with a magnificent smile. She was going to take the green key and Lin Feng the light blue key, she was happy for him. His success was her happiness. See you in Tiantai in a few seconds, shouted Qiu Yuxian. However, Lin Feng didn't react. Lin Feng slowly shook his head, which made her heart race again. What was Lin Feng going to do? I am not done, said Lin Feng. His voice was hoarse and deep. Could he go higher? He had already surpassed Xian Yuan. Why did he want to continue? Did he really want to defy the skies? Lin Feng, whispered Qiu Yuxian. She didn't know what to say. Lin Feng raised his head and looked at the skies. His words about what being a real cultivator meant were echoing in her brain. You can do it, said Qiu Yuxian suddenly with a resplendent smile. She felt good. Lin Feng made her feel happy. You're a real cultivator, as a cultivator, you accepted to defy the laws of the earth and sky. If you fail, it doesn't matter because what you did is incredible already. And if you fail, then I don't care, I won't go to Tiantai and I'll stay with you. What? The crowd was dumbstruck. What? Who was that guy for Qiu Yuxian? Yang Zilan was astonished. Since he had seen Lin Feng, he wondered who he was. Qiu Yuxian was the beautiful cold-hearted woman of Ba Huang province. She had fallen in love with Lin Feng, and because Lin Feng had died, she had tried to kill Qiu Lin, Qiu Mei and even him, Yang Zilan. He had heard a lot about Qiu Yuxian's personality. She was stubborn. At that moment, Yang Zilan was fixedly staring at Lin Feng. His eyes were twinkling. When the Yang clan went to the Zhou clan to seek revenge, it was a disaster for the Zhou clan. However, until the very last minute, they denied flatly that the guy who had appeared was a member of their clan, whispered Yang Zilan. He had a strange feeling. You're Lin Feng, you're not dead, shouted Yang Zilan suddenly. Qiu Yuxian was surprised. Lin Feng, the crowd was astonished. Wasn't Lin Feng dead? Qiu Yuxian had fallen in love with Lin Feng and now she had come with a guy and they seemed too close. Everybody started staring at Lin Feng with more scrutiny. People were speechless. You're not as stupid as I thought, said Lin Feng at that moment. He raised his hand, put it on his face and took off his mask. He looked younger and even more handsome now. Lin Feng, said Yang Zilan coldly. The crowd was astonished. Lin Feng hadn't died. Qiu Yuxian's boyfriend was there. Even though his cultivation level was low, Lin Feng was a good match for Qiu Yuxian because he was strong and determined. Because he was a real cultivator. You're not dead. Was it you last time as well, said Yang Zilan thinking about the guy from the Zhou clan who stole his boat. Do you think I have a silver-winged spirit? I just used Zhou Junluo's corpse, I took out his dead soul and used it to control him, said Lin Feng coldly. You're evil. You're a demon, said Yang Zilan. He believed what Lin Feng said. Of course Lin Feng couldn't have the spirit of the Zhou clan. So Lin Feng's explanation made sense. Evil. I was nice to your clan and you humiliated me, you even tried to kill me. Now you keep insulting me, yet I'm evil, said Lin Feng. He turned around and continued walking on to the seventh group of steps. People were in disbelief. Real cultivators control the earth, not the opposite way around, whispered Lin Feng. He continued walking up. Arg, arg. It was as if the staircase was going to break and collapse. Boom boom. Lin Feng knelt down, his blood seemed like it was going to explode. The earth and sky have force, cultivators can use force. I am a cultivator, therefore I can control the force of the earth and sky. Lin Feng sounded determined. The force of the earth and sky was also something incredible and mysterious. Lin Feng put a hand on the step and slowly rose up again. Everybody could hear the strength, force and energies flowing throughout his body. Lin Feng was one with the earth and sky. Celestial forces, nature, immaterial world, selflessness, nothing is impossible, there are no limits. Lin Feng was chanting a mantra. Cultivators can defy the laws of the earth and sky. I am a cultivator. Gotcha. Lin Feng was standing fast and was surrounded by a cloud of force. He could use the force of the earth and sky. Cultivators can defy the laws of the earth and sky. I am a cultivator. Lin Feng looked at the sky and a hurricane appeared around him. It was composed of the force of the earth and sky. It wasn't attacking Lin Feng was using it. Boom. Lin Feng continued going up. His pure qi was becoming stronger as well. Lin Feng was becoming stronger. Chapter 1023, Ninth Group of Steps, How Incredible. The crowd was astonished. Lin Feng could use the force of the earth and sky to an incredible degree. He was becoming stronger even, and his pure qi was becoming stronger too. Boom boom. Another series of loud sounds spread in the air, but Lin Feng kept climbing the stairs. The force of the staircase wasn't oppressing him anymore, it was actually helping him. What is going on? How's that even possible? Yang Ziyi was fixedly staring at Lin Feng. She couldn't believe her eyes. She had thought that Lin Feng saved her because he wanted to have sex with her, as Yang Zilan had told her. She hadn't defended Lin Feng when Yang Zilan said he wanted Lin Feng to die. They had humiliated Lin Feng over and over again. Now, Lin Feng was the real hero of the event. Her future husband, Xian Yuan, said he would rank first amongst Tian-level cultivators, but Lin Feng had already beaten him. Lin Feng was enjoying a landslide victory. He hadn't surpassed Xian Yuan by a little bit either. He was already on the 7th group of steps and wasn't stopping. Besides, the force of the staircase was not hindering him anymore, Lin Feng was using it to progress. His cultivation level was increasing thanks to his incredible understanding. Boom, boom. Lin Feng continued. The force was penetrating into his body. It was as if he was absorbing a lake of force. Boom. Lin Feng released an incredible qi. His qi was now different, it had the strength of the 4th Tian qi layer. Incredible. Lin Feng was really becoming stronger on that staircase. What? He broke through to the 4th Tian qi layer, how incredible. Astonishing. The crowd was astonished. That way too incredible. Lin Feng was becoming stronger during the exam. He would be difficult to defeat in the future. The sadhu was in the sky, smiling with satisfaction as we watched Lin Feng. Lin Feng was incredible. He was so young but already so strong. No wonder his fellow disciples liked him. Lin Feng was going up, step by step. After breaking through to the 4th Tian qi layer, he continued. Lin Feng didn't stop. He arrived on the last step of the 7th group and stopped. What will he do now, thought the crowd. This time, nobody thought he would stop. Everybody thought he was going to continue. Everybody was fixedly staring at Lin Feng, wondering what he was going to do. They hoped he would continue. I accepted the challenge of the earth and sky, and I became stronger. A real cultivator remains determined and doesn't give up. If the earth and sky want a war, then I accept, said Lin Feng with a serious and solemn smile. He looked like an enlightened being. He then stepped onto the first step of the 8th group of steps. Boom! The earth and sky turned into a gigantic hand which fell down from the sky. Lin Feng groaned and blood splashed out of his mouth. He managed to keep his balance, but he had bruises all over his body. Of course, he had broken through to the 4th Tian qi layer, so his corporeal body had become even stronger. Lin Feng's gums and teeth were soaked with blood, but he was still smiling. Lin Feng looked at the sky and said, "You stepped on me but I felt nothing." Boom boom boom. Lin Feng condensed more strength and continued. At the same time, he continued studying the force of the earth and the sky. If the sky can't defeat him, who can, thought many people in the crowd. They felt like they were dreaming. They would have never thought that anyone would manage to do what Lin Feng had now done. He's going higher up. People were petrified, excited, it was incredible. They were already speechless when Lin Feng had started walking onto the 6th group of steps, now he had reached the 8th one. Lin Feng didn't stop. Nobody and nothing could stop him. Maybe he would succeed, maybe he would fail, but in any case, he had this accomplishment. Do you think he'll try to step onto the 9th one as well, said some people. He's up there. Lin Feng arrived on the 9th step of the 8th group of steps. People were speechless. Nobody could believe their eyes. He was way more incredible than Xian Yuan. There was a white jade key floating in front of Lin Feng. Lin Feng just had to take the white jade key and he would be able to go to Tiantai with an incredible gift. The crowd was holding their breath. What was he going to do? They all looked at the 9th group of steps. Was he going to try? If Lin Feng failed there, he wouldn't have a second chance. That would also be the end for him. He would never become an imperial cultivation disciple. It was too dangerous. It was better to stop. Do you want to try? The sadhu asked. People were surprised. The master was talking to Lin Feng. Think carefully, if you fail and can't stand it, you'll lose everything, said the sadhu. Lin Feng nodded. He obviously understood. I'll try though, said Lin Feng. The sadhu smiled and nodded. I won't prevent you from trying. Will he be able to endure it? Thought the crowd. What was going to happen? Lin Feng raised his head. He looked solemn and respectful. Lin Feng started. People's hearts were racing. Gotcha. And then, it was as if their hearts stopped. They were watching Lin Feng, fixedly, and breathlessly, and motionlessly. Lin Feng put a foot on the first step of the 9th group of steps, but there was absolutely no strength or force. Lin Feng walked up, easily. What's going on? How was that possible? How come it looked so easy? Master. Lin Feng turned around and looked at the sadhu. There was nothing on the last group of steps. You did it. Congratulations. You can take the Imperial Zoom key. Congratulations again. That is the symbol of your glory, said the sadhu slowly. The crowd was astonished. The last group of steps was a symbol of glory, it was just symbolic. Imperial Zoom key. Chapter 1024, in Tiantai, it was a symbol. The crowd looked at Lin Feng with the highest respect. People had come from everywhere for Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's recruitment process. There were many geniuses from everywhere in the province and even from abroad. Most of those strong cultivators had only managed to climb up to the 3rd group of steps. Very few had managed to climb the 4th one, and only 2 had managed to climb the 5th one. Meng Ba and Xian Yuan. Only one person had managed to surpass them, and that someone wasn't very famous. That young man had climbed the 9 last groups of steps fearlessly. That young man was Lin Feng. People had heard about Lin Feng before, first because he had rescued Yang Ziyi and had been humiliated by them. Then, because Chiu Yuxian had fallen in love with him. However, this time, everybody would remember Lin Feng as the man who climbed the 9 last groups of steps at Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's recruitment process. When Lin Feng heard the sadhu, he smiled and bowed. It was pure luck. I wasn't sure I could do it. You relied on your corporeal strength, your indomitable determination, your strong analytical and understanding abilities, and you were fearless. That is not luck. You are the true master of your destiny. Alright, let's move on. Let's go to Tiantai, said the sadhu smiling. Okay. Lin Feng nodded. He turned around and smiled at Yang Zilan. Yang Zilan had the impression that Lin Feng was making fun of him, and that annoyed him. Yuxian, see you in Tiantai in a few seconds, said Lin Feng, smiling at Chiu Yuxian. She was also smiling in a resplendent way. Lin Feng had managed to climb all the stairs. The news would spread quickly in Tianjing City. Even the Chiu clan would respect him. Lin Feng slowly turned around. He looked at the golden Imperial Zoom key. According to the sadhu, that was the best key. What advantage would he get with it? Lin Feng grabbed the key, golden lights surrounded his body, and in a flash, he appeared somewhere else. It was a vast area filled with people. Lin Feng turned around and walked towards the edge of the place. The sadhu was sitting cross-legged in the sky, and there were the stairs down there. Lin Feng turned around and gazed into the distance. There were incredible palaces. The qi there was pure and celestial. It was similar to the qi in the Jade Emperor's room in his palace. Tiantai, an imperial place, whispered Lin Feng. Tiantai was a small world and the emperors were granting access to those who could climb the stairs. They opened the doors to Tiantai only to recruit imperial cultivation disciples. The people around Lin Feng had managed to make it there because they had obtained a key. Everyone was calm. Nobody could cause trouble in Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's territory. They all calmly waited for the exam to start. But at that moment, Lin Feng realized that there was something wrong. Everybody was staring at him. He was standing higher than everyone else, as if he was their leader. Two other people were close to Lin Feng, but lower than him, Xian Yuan and Meng Ba. Just under them, there weren't too many people, Qiu Yu Xian, Lin Rua Tian, Yang Zi Lan. The lower, the more people there were. It's like a podium, thought Lin Feng. Besides, Lin Feng found out that there were only Tian-level cultivators there. Zun cultivators had probably ended up in another place. It's so cold, thought Lin Feng. Meng Ba and Xian Yuan were surprised to see Lin Feng there. Xian Yuan looked furious. What was going on? How was that even possible? He had climbed up 5 groups of steps, had obtained a blue key and had said nobody could surpass him. After that, many people had joined him in Tiantai and they were all lower than him. However, in the end, Meng Ba appeared next to him. If only one person could do the same as he had done, fine, no problem. But someone had done better than him. That made him furious. You, said Xian Yuan. He remembered Lin Feng, the guy in the dragon palace with his beast. He had stolen treasures. Good to see you again, said Lin Feng smiling at Xian Yuan. I wouldn't have thought that you'd manage to climb 6 groups of steps. In the Dragon Palace, you had only broken through to the 2nd Tian Qi layer, but now you've broken through to the 4th Tian Qi layer. What treasures did you get there? Asked Xian Yuan coldly. Had Lin Feng climbed only 6 groups of steps? And had he obtained treasures in the Dragon Palace which helped him become this strong? Who told you I climbed up 6 groups of steps? Said Lin Feng with a cold smile. Concerning the treasures I obtained in the Dragon Palace, if I told you, you wouldn't believe me. Humph. I don't trust you anyways. Xian Yuan groaned coldly. But it doesn't matter. No matter what you obtained, I'll steal your treasures for myself. You're just a nobody in my eyes. Xian Yuan then suddenly released ice-cold energies and stood up. He wanted to attack Lin Feng. "Sit down," shouted an overwhelming voice at that moment. He raised his head and saw someone in the sky. He suddenly looked scared. It was Ho Qing Lin. He had already humiliated Xian Yuan back in Black Crow Village. You better not cause trouble here in Tiantai. And who do you think you are to insult other people? Said Ho Qing Lin. I am Xian Yuan and I have imperial blood. Even if you don't like me, there's no need to insult me, said Xian Yuan proudly. I don't care who your ancestors are or what your blood is like. All I know is that you climbed up 5 groups of steps and he climbed up 9. So who do you think you are to insult him? Said Ho Qing Lin coldly. Xian Yuan looked dumbstruck. 9 groups of steps. He was dazed. Not only him, everybody else. Someone had managed to climb up 9 groups of steps. Maybe you enjoy humiliating people who have a lower cultivation level than yours. Well, in my eyes, you're nothing. You're much weaker than me. Said Ho Qing Lin. Chapter 1025, 81 Palaces. Xian Yuan was scared because he had infuriated Ho Qing Lin. Someday, he would replace Ho Qing Lin and become the emperor's direct disciple. Then he would trample on Ho Qing Lin. Ho Qing Lin saw Xian Yuan looking at him with hatred and said coldly, anyways, we will quickly find out who's an insect and who's not. I am in charge of the recruitment process and I will give you all opportunities to show everyone else why you're so proud. He's in charge, the crowd was surprised. The emperors weren't in charge of the recruitment process, they had delegated that responsibility to their closest disciples. I can't wait, said Xian Yuan sarcastically. Ho Qinglin didn't look at him again. He turned around and closed his eyes waiting for the first part of the exam to finish. A few more people arrived in Tiantai. However, nobody went further than the fourth group of steps. Brother, said the sadhu in the distance. Ho Qinglin understood and said, the first part of the exam is finished. The staircase is now closed. You can congratulate the victors. I understand, said the sadhu nodding. He looked at the crowd. Even though there were many people, only 81 would be chosen in the end. Good luck, said the sadhu smiling at the crowd. He then turned around. Ho Qinglin looked at the crowd and said, everyone here still has a chance to become an imperial cultivation disciple, said Ho Qinglin. Everybody was confused. Everyone. Hadn't they said that those who took the first key could only watch? This time, 81 Tian level cultivators will be selected, but it is only the first batch. Those who took a key in the staircase can practice cultivation in Tiantai. You have 100 days to practice. Then, the recruitment process will resume. It also gives you time to think, explained Ho Qinglin. The crowd was amazed. Many people were happy though. All those who had managed to climb up the staircase were very strong, that's what it took. Even those who had failed this time would be able to try again in the future. Many people were happy to stay in Tiantai and practice cultivation. Also, a vast majority of those who had managed to climb up the second group of steps and above will be eliminated later and won't be able to become imperial cultivation disciples this time, but you can stay here and practice cultivation. You'll have the opportunity to apply again for the second batch, explained Ho Qinglin. Those people weren't so happy though. They weren't the same as those who had managed to only climb the first group of steps. After all, they had shown how strong they were. They found that unfair. There were many proud people from rich families amongst them and they didn't want to be considered as losers or to become ordinary imperial cultivation disciples. Those who climbed up the second staircase and above, follow me, said Ho Qinglin. He turned around and gazed into the distance. People slowly stood up and followed him. What was the next exam? Ho Qinglin wasn't walking fast. Considering his cultivation level, he was walking extremely slowly. But Tiantai was a holy place so they had to walk slowly, mindfully, and respectfully. The qi here is extraordinary. Who lives in those palaces, said some people looking at the palaces around them. The people from just a moment ago and those who get eliminated, for now, said Ho Qinglin when he heard those people. If you become imperial cultivation disciples and practice cultivation in Tiantai, those palaces will be yours forever, 1 palace per person. 1 palace per person. The crowd was astonished. Even the most ordinary imperial cultivation disciples could have their own palace, how incredible was that? Even Lin Feng was excited. In 100 days, the staircase between Tianjing City and Tiantai will open. People from Tianjing City will be able to see the imperial cultivation disciples and Tiantai will become their holy place, said Ho Qinglin. He felt proud to have such great teachers. Tianjing City was the biggest city in the northern part of Bahuang Province. Tianjing City would become a great city after the opening of the staircase. Even though Ho Qinglin didn't seek glory, he still felt proud and honored to have such wonderful teachers. The big group walked through the palaces, there was an enchanting mist lying above the ground. Then, some special palaces appeared in their field of visions. Those palaces looked like celestial illusions. Can you see them? Said Ho Qinglin pointing at some of the palaces. They looked far and close at the same time. Master, who lives there? Asked someone. There are 81 palaces, replied Ho Qinglin. People's eyes started twinkling. 81 Imperial Cultivation disciples were going to be selected this time, and there were 81 palaces. Those palaces are all different, and the best of you will get the best palace, said Ho Chin Lin, awaking ardor in the candidates' hearts. Xian Yuan was convinced that he was going to rank first and could already see himself in the best palace. Many people looked at him with hatred when they saw his eyes twinkle. During the first part of the exam, you obtained keys, and there were 9 different keys. Those keys will have an impact on your ranking, said Ho Chin Lin. Surprisingly, that was the purpose of those keys. Well then, since Lin Feng had obtained the best key, was he going to rank first and obtain the best palace? Xian Yuan looked at Lin Feng with murder in his eyes. Not only him, but many other people. Especially those who only managed to climb the 4th group of steps. They wanted to prevent Lin Feng from becoming an Imperial Cultivation disciple and obtaining the best palace. Lin Feng was speechless. Was he going to rank first? Lin Feng smiled wryly. He didn't really understand what Ho Chin Lin meant. Ho Chin Lin had helped him a few times in the past. He even humiliated Xian Yuan because of him. My venerable teachers built those palaces, so respect them, said Ho Chin Lin, smiling. Everybody looked terribly excited. Chapter 1026, New Ways of Using His Spirit. Then, Ho Chin Lin walked to the left. We're here, said Ho Chin Lin. He then opened the door to a palace. Everybody was curious. They wanted to see what it looked like inside the palace and also what kind of exam they were going to sit. The palace was brightly lit. Everybody gradually trickled in. People's eyes twinkled. There were drawings and paintings everywhere. There were picture scrolls as well. They all looked extraordinary. Come in, everyone, said Ho Chin Lin. Everybody looked around. We often come here to practice as Imperial Cultivation disciples. We come here to study special and mysterious powers. We drew those paintings, drawings and marks. I'll let you study the holy marks in this palace. Everybody was incredulous. Ho Chin Lin and his fellow disciples had drawn those marks. No wonder they looked extraordinary. Ho Chin Lin was extremely strong. Those marks probably contained incredible powers. You have 2 hours to study, so don't waste time and study as much as you can. To benefit the most from it, your thoughts have to be pure. Remember what I said. Ho Chin Lin said to the crowd. Everybody nodded. One more thing, no fighting can happen during these 2 hours. Only studying is allowed. After that, you'll have opportunities to battle each other. If someone disobeys, I'll throw them off the top of Tiantai. After that, he left the palace. They all had 2 hours to study. After that, we'll be able to battle, thought the crowd. Those who were weak were a bit scared. Fighting would be difficult for them. Qiu Yuxian walked to Lin Feng and asked, Lin Feng, what do you think he meant? Lin Feng shook his head. Ho Chin Lin is a wise man. Everything he does is meaningful and he won't lie. We just have to listen to him, that's all. We have to study those marks for 2 hours and we'll become stronger. Alright, you're right, I think. Even though Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu assigned the recruitment process task to their direct disciples, they probably aren't completely free. They probably have to follow some instructions, said Qiu Yuxian, nodding. Go and find the marks you understand the best. After that, we don't know what will happen. Let's just listen to Ho Chin Lin, said Lin Feng, looking at the mysterious marks on the walls. Very quickly, his attention was drawn to some specific marks. They were very easy to understand. It looked like some instructions. Lin Feng looked at them and touched them with his finger. He could sense some strength, it seemed like it was empty space strength. That's it. Lin Feng continued moving his finger over the marks and nodded at Qiu Yuxian. I like sword cultivation and empty space spells. It contains sharp sword energies and empty space strength. It seems like these marks are the most suitable for me, thought Lin Feng. He then started practicing cultivation. He sat down cross-legged and started meditating. The insect passed the first part of the exam because he was lucky and now chooses the easiest marks to understand. Useless, said a voice mockingly. Yang Zilan wasn't far from him. According to Yang Zilan, the marks Lin Feng had chosen were too easy. However, it was very powerful. Yang Zilan thought they were too easy because he had lots of similar ones in his clan. Pure luck, said Lin Feng with an indifferent smile. Then, he stopped looking at Yang Zilan and continued practicing cultivation. Yang Zilan saw Lin Feng smirk and looked at him in a disdainful way. Wait until we fight, I'll kill you then, thought Yan Zilan, thinking about the battles which would take place after the study session. That made him smile in a resplendent way. Lin Feng remained silent and studied. It was as if the world around him didn't exist anymore. Lin Feng could clearly sense the marks on the wall and he was trying to ingrain them in his head. He visualized the marks and sharp energies appeared. Empty space instructions. Lin Feng studied those marks and had the feeling he was going to enter an empty space. How strong, thought Lin Feng, delighted. It seemed like that space was real and that those marks were powerful. It seemed like he could kill people secretly from inside. Few Tian-level cultivators understood empty space spells. Lin Feng studied those marks further. The small world kept appearing in his brain. Even though Lin Feng understood things quickly, 2 hours weren't enough. He slowly opened his celestial book spirit and looked at the empty space world page. He slowly noted down the marks in his celestial book spirit. He drew them very clearly. Lin Feng suddenly realized he was using his celestial book spirit to write down marks. He had never used it for that purpose before. In the past, he used to think he could only use his celestial book spirit to study things like the Tian Xian stone or the demon seal stones, but now he realized he could also use it to write down marks. Maybe the mysterious marks would be easier to use in the future if he had them written down in his celestial book. Lin Feng studied the marks in his book. He was moving his fingers slowly, following the marks. They became much clearer. After an hour, Lin Feng stopped and smiled. My spirit is awesome, thought Lin Feng with a resplendent smile. Thanks to his celestial book spirit, he could study faster than probably anyone. He glanced at Yang Zilan, who was still practicing cultivation. The others as well. Lin Feng remembered Ho Qin Lin's words. I have time to study something else, thought Lin Feng with a magnificent smile. Chapter 1027, Who's an Insect? He glanced at the marks and realized that no matter what, marks, prints, drawings, paintings, they were all exceptional. Ho Qin Lin and his disciples were real geniuses. How incredible! Those marks are pleasing to the eye and to the mind, sighed Lin Feng. Those marks were extraordinary. Lin Feng was excited and wanted to study them all. After that, Lin Feng sat down. This time, he didn't choose to study anything in particular. He released his celestial book spirit and chose to write down all the marks inside. New marks kept appearing in his book. Empty space marks, reincarnation marks, ancient Buddhist marks, godly awareness-related marks. Lin Feng was writing down everything. The emperor's direct disciples were really incredible. My spirit is incredible, thought Lin Feng. He was happy. He had never realized how powerful his book spirit was. He could use it to study demon seal stone strength, mysterious holy marks, etc. It was like the ultimate notebook. Lin Feng was happy, he could write down all the marks in that room. All those marks contain the force of the earth and sky, how powerful. Lin Feng sighed while staring at all those marks. However, voices interrupted Lin Feng. He was in a deep meditative state and hadn't realized how fast time had passed. Another hour had already passed. Everybody was chatting and surprisingly, you were still meditating, said Qiu Yuxin smiling at him. Lin Feng didn't know how long she had been next to him. He had forgotten about time. He hadn't even sensed that Yang Zilan and the others were staring at him too. Huh, I was gone, indeed, said Lin Feng smiling wryly. He thought he'd have time to study another spell more in depth. Luckily, nobody attacked you here, thought Qiu Yuxin. Yang Zilan and the others were looking at him coldly. Many people who didn't even know him looked at him with hatred because he had managed to climb up the 9 groups of steps. They didn't want him to get the best palace. At that moment, Ho Qing Lin came back. 2 hours passed, said Ho Qing Lin before adding, I gave you 2 hours to study. Now, battles are going to start. You'll only be able to use the techniques and skills you studied here to fight. You can't use any other attacks, including your spirits. People were dumbfounded. Ho Qing Lin was testing people based on their understanding abilities. I was born with my spirit, it's like my corporeal body, why can't I use it, said someone. A spirit was part of a cultivator's body. Many rich and powerful cultivators relied mostly on their spirits. No matter how strong your spirit is, it is not always helpful. Think of the first part of the exam, on the stairs, your spirit was useless then. If you only rely on your spirit, you won't be able to study new things. People who do that can never become genuinely strong, they will never progress. Besides, it's a sign of laziness too. In Tiantai, we need polyvalent disciples, people who are interested in all aspects of cultivation. People who only use their spirit can't be considered geniuses. In my eyes, they're even worse than trash, said Ho Qing Lin indifferently. Many people lowered their heads when they heard that. Some people had always relied on their spirit and now they regretted it. That wasn't beneficial to cultivators. Even worse, in Ho Qing Lin's eyes, they were trash. All right. Now, choose an opponent you despise. If you defeat them using the skill you learnt, they will be eliminated, said Ho Qing Lin indifferently. Many people were caught off guard. What? What about people who had a low cultivation level but were talented? Didn't Ho Qing Lin care about them? Many people looked for the weakest opponents and smiled. They just had to defeat weak people and eliminate them. Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi walked towards Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxin with cold smiles on their faces. It's fate after all. If you're weak, you'll be eliminated, said Yang Zilan to Lin Feng with a cold smile. Lin Feng was doomed. Imperial cultivation disciples were going to be selected according to their strength. He was impatient to see how Lin Feng, a cultivator of the 4th Tian Qi layer, would fight against him. Did you all choose the opponents you despised the most? Asked Ho Qing Lin. People nodded. Those who were strong had large smiles on their faces and said, yes, we did. Very good. Let's go into an empty space illusion, said Ho Qing Lin with a resplendent smile of his own. He shook his hands and bright lights appeared which surrounded the crowd. People frowned. Their surroundings were changing and they were no longer in the palace. It was snowing there. Some people were on snowy mountains, while others were on the ground, and some in the sky between the snowy mountains. We're in another place now, thought many people. Here, everybody will fight. Those who are defeated will appear outside the illusion. It will also mean that they're eliminated and won't become imperial cultivation disciples, said Ho Qing Lin loudly. Everybody would die. Poor you, you're dead already, said Yang Zilan. Yang Ziyi, Jiang Ning and the others were also not far from them. Lin Feng and Qiu Yuxin were there too. I forgot to tell you something, here, everybody has the same cultivation level. You all have the strength of the 1st Tian Qi layer. These are perfect conditions to see who's really strong, said Ho Qing Lin. Lin Feng smiled in a resplendent way. Yang Zilan and the others' facial expressions changed drastically. They were scared now. In fair conditions, everybody had the same cultivation level. Who would be crushed like an insect now? Chapter 1028, Trampling on a Genius. Remember what I said, you can only use what you studied in the palace to fight. You can't use anything else, including your spirit or blood strength. Otherwise, I will take you out myself, said Ho Ching Lin indifferently. Everybody started sensing their strength. As expected, they all had the strength of the first Tian Qi layer. Ho Ching Lin made them enter a palace, practice a certain skill set, and then he had taken them to that world and restricted their strength to that of the first Tian Qi layer. That was fair. Nobody could use their spirit, their blood strength or other spells. Ho Ching Lin was giving everybody the opportunity to fight a fair battle. Those who came from rich families had access to more things than others, so in real life, they had more chances to succeed. Here, everybody had the same chance to succeed. Sigh, people were upset. Ho Ching Lin's rules were very strict. Not using our spirit is fine, but what about blood strength? It's an integral part of our body. It is part of our flesh, why forbid us from using it, said someone else. Not being able to use their blood strength, what an exaggerated rule. Use your self-confidence to fight. If you think you can despise other people, show them that you can really despise them. You all have the opportunity to prove to everyone else why you are so confident, said Ho Ching Lin indifferently. He then added, do you think my teachers, Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu, attach importance to such things? What they care about is the way you practice cultivation, your vision. Blood strength can be reconstructed, a spirit can be reborn. Blood strength can be reconstructed, a spirit can be reborn. The crowd was amazed. Emperors could give their disciples blood strength and spirits, that's why all they needed were disciples with a pure heart. People who were real cultivators, with strong understanding and analytical abilities. Of course, having a powerful blood and spirit was a plus. Alright, let's start, said Ho Ching Lin. He rose higher up in the sky and looked at everyone to make sure everyone followed the rules. You're right, the recruitment process is fair. Insects will be crushed and eliminated, said Lin Feng to Yang Zilan. He then started walking towards him, with confidence and no hesitation at all. Lin Feng hated Yang Zilan, he wanted to get his revenge and teach the Yang clan a lesson. Lin Feng couldn't wait to become an imperial cultivation disciple. We just learnt a skill, in front of me, you're still nothing, said Yang Zilan, releasing qi of the first Tian Qi layer. In the palace, he studied a powerful punch attack. He hadn't understood everything though, 2 hours weren't enough. He understood the basics though. I will crush you today. I will show what it feels like to be an insect, said Lin Feng with a resplendent smile. He then threw himself at Yang Zilan. Yang Zilan raised his fists, pure and dazzling lights appeared. Splashing sounds could be heard because the qi was rolling in the air like waves. Water is pleasant to be in, but gigantic waves can easily kill people, said Yang Zilan coldly. The splashing sounds were becoming more violent. It seemed like nothing could block such waves. Die, shouted Yang Zilan furiously. His waves turned into sharp energies and rolled in the air towards Lin Feng. Tasteless, thought Lin Feng when seeing Yang Zilan's attack. It didn't look great at all. Kaboom! Lin Feng punched the atmosphere in the direction of the waves. It contained the force of the earth and sky. It was simple but contained an incredible power and explosive force. The force of the earth and sky weren't like other types of strength, it was much more efficient if used properly. Yang Zilan pulled a long face. He was furious. He stopped attacking and ran. However, he found out that he wasn't as fast as usual. Lin Feng's punch reached him and he groaned with pain. Brother, shouted Yang Ziyi. In the blink of an eye, Lin Feng was close again. I will show you how I crush insects. Boom boom. Lin Feng punched Yang Zilan again and blood splashed everywhere. Geniuses crush insects, said Lin Feng, jumping onto Yang Zilan's head. Everyone was astonished. Lin Feng was trampling Yang Zilan. Jiang Ning, attack, shouted Yang Ziyi furiously. He immediately threw himself at Lin Feng. Die, shouted Lin Feng furiously while punching again. He looked like a death god. Bzzz, lights appeared and disappeared again. Jiang Ning didn't understand. Slash, slash, a terrifying energy crashed onto Jiang Ning's third eye and he turned deathly pale. It was a dazzling light. Slash. No surprise. In a flash, Jiang Ning disappeared. It was an illusion. People didn't die for real, but disappeared from that world instead. People who were defeated, like Jiang Ning, wouldn't become imperial cultivation disciples. They were simply eliminated. What a piece of trash. I've always wanted to crush him too. He's pathetic and ridiculous, said Lin Feng in a detached way. Yang Ziyi and the others pulled long faces. Boom boom. Lin Feng trampled on Yang Zilan's face again and blood continued to splash. The physical pain was nothing compared to the pain in his soul. Lin Feng was humiliating him, again. He wanted Lin Feng to die. Who's the insect? You tiny ant, said Lin Feng with a smile. He jumped on Yang Zilan's face again, half his face was in the snow now. You look ridiculous. Boom boom. Yang Zilan disappeared in the snow and then Lin Feng moved aside looking expressionless. Chapter 1029, Fighting against Xian Yuan. At that moment, many people were amazed. Lin Feng was a beast. He even humiliated the Yang clan. But in the illusion, battles were fair. And there, Lin Feng could defeat Yang Zilan without having to use any strength. That proved if they had been of the same cultivation level, Lin Feng would have easily crushed him in the outside world. Yang Zilan couldn't withstood a single attack. You called me an insect, what are you then? Asked Lin Feng proudly. Everybody attacked their enemy while shouting furiously. Some people wanted to get their revenge against those who called them insects. Boom! Yang Zilan came out of the ground and threw himself at Lin Feng again. Fuck off! Lin Feng punched him again. Yang Zilan crashed into the ground violently. Arg! Shouted Yang Zilan furiously. Lin Feng looked at him coldly and said, What? You'll never become an imperial cultivation disciple as long as I'm here. Boom boom. Lin Feng punched Yang Zilan's face again. Then, in the blink of an eye, Yang Zilan disappeared. Lin Feng had killed him, in the illusion at least. Yang Zilan wouldn't become an imperial cultivation disciple this time. You, said Yang Ziyi pulling a long face. She was fixedly staring at Lin Feng. Her brother, Yang Zilan, he wouldn't become an imperial cultivation disciple because of Lin Feng. Don't look at me like that. You guys are geniuses after all, said Lin Feng. He walked towards Yang Ziyi and said coldly, Yang Ziyi, I saved you when you were almost raped. I was polite. What did you do in exchange? You humiliated me and asked your clan to kill me. Yang Ziyi looked upset at that moment, but she remained silent. They hadn't expressed their gratitude to Lin Feng. In their eyes, Lin Feng was worthless. You think you are incredible, pure, powerful, rich and that I am nothing. I took you home safe and sound. You even thought I had saved you because I thought you were hot and rich, but I just wanted to be friends. But you don't care about insects, even insects who save your life, said Lin Feng with a cold smile. Yang Ziyi really had those kinds of thoughts. Lin Feng understood her perfectly. They despised people who didn't have a social status as high as theirs. Do you think an insect like you can still reach the clouds? Said an ice-cold voice at that moment. Xian Yuan appeared next to Yang Ziyi. Yang Ziyi looked at him and smiled. She also took a deep breath of relief. Xian Yuan was famous in Ba Huang province because he had imperial blood. He was a real genius to boot. He wanted to defeat Lin Feng because he wanted to rank first amongst the Tian-level cultivators this time. I don't know about reaching the clouds, but at least, I'll kick her out of here, said Lin Feng indifferently. Is that so? Show me then. You think that you're an overlord because you managed to climb up the 9 groups of steps, said Xian Yuan proudly. They were staring at each other and releasing their energies. Bzzz. They both released incredible energies. Many people looked at them. One was Lin Feng, who had defied the skies and climbed up 9 groups of steps during the first part of the exam. The other one was Xian Yuan, a rich and powerful cultivator. That was the clash of the titans. Lin Feng looked like he was one with nature at that moment. His qi and the qi of the earth and sky were the same. Lin Feng can defy the skies and use the force of the earth and sky, thought the crowd looking at Lin Feng's pure qi. His qi was emitting whistling sounds now. Xian Yuan smiled coldly. He shook his hand and lights appeared. He was absorbing the strength of the earth and sky as well. Xian Yuan, imperial blood. The crowd was captivated. Lin Feng was using natural force, Xian Yuan was using some kind of strength and condensing it. Let's see if you can protect yourself, said Xian Yuan. He then suddenly started running towards Lin Feng with his fist raised. The atmosphere was shaking. Lin Feng looked at him and raised his fist too. He also started running towards him. Boom boom. A terrifying wind started blowing. It seemed like the space was going to explode. What a terrifying force. Even with the strength of the first Tian Qi layer, they're still very strong, thought the crowd. Both were incredible cultivators. Not bad, but if you want to reach the clouds, it will be difficult with just that, said Xian Yuan with a cold smile. Both their fists collided. A beam of light appeared, along with roaring sounds. Boom boom. Lin Feng sensed the energies move towards him. They crashed onto him and he was propelled backwards. How impressive. Xian Yuan is really strong, Lin Feng surely can't compete with him, thought everyone. Lin Feng was talented, he had done better than everybody else during the first part of the exam, but Xian Yuan had imperial blood. Lin Feng couldn't withstand the first attack. When Yang Ziyi saw that, she smiled in a resplendent way. Xian Yuan was better than Lin Feng after all. At least, you managed to climb up the 9 groups of stairs, but now, you're going to be eliminated, said Xian Yuan coldly. He continued running towards Lin Feng while condensing energies in his fist. You're strong, said Lin Feng. With his imperial blood and many years of practice, Xian Yuan had, indeed, become strong. Phew, Lin Feng remained fearless and determined. He condensed force again and smiled. His fist was emitting crackling sounds. Die, shouted Lin Feng furiously while throwing himself at Xian Yuan. Boom boom, explosions sounded. Not bad. Let's see how many attacks you can endure, said Xian Yuan. He raised his fists again. The qi of the earth and sky was still rolling in the air. They were both surrounded by terrifying energies. Even with the restriction on their cultivation level, they were still incredibly strong. Yang Zilan hoped that Lin Feng would lose fast. Surprisingly, he wasn't dead yet. Xian Yuan had imperial blood and had, in real life, broken through to the 7th Tian Qi layer. Therefore, he was more experienced than Lin Feng and understood cultivation better than him. But even considering that, it still took him time to defeat Lin Feng. Chapter 1030, Equally Arrogant, Boom Boom. More explosion sounds invaded the atmosphere. The mountains around them exploded. Their clothes were fluttering in the whistling wind. All right, shouted Xian Yuan. He smiled and said, you're a good fighter. You also managed to climb up 9 groups of steps, however, I will still kill you. Xian Yuan sounded proud and arrogant. He slowly raised his fist. The wind around him was whistling as he absorbed the strength of the earth and sky and made it flow in his flesh. He was really talented. Xian Yuan's entire body started emitting dazzling lights. Because we can't use the skills and techniques we want, talent plays the biggest role. And I am more talented than you, said Xian Yuan proudly. He looked like he despised the whole world, as if nobody could have defeated him. You're much more talented than Yang Zilan, but you're as ignorant as him. He also thought nobody could defeat him, said Lin Feng while running forwards. In a flash, rumbling sounds shook the space. Lin Feng was surrounded by force, the natural force of the earth and sky. He was using the earth and sky as a weapon. How scary. He understands these forces so well. He's 5-6 times stronger than he should be, even with a restricted cultivation level, thought the crowd. What a pity that Lin Feng didn't come from a rich family. With such talent, he would have become incredibly strong. He would have become like Xian Yuan. I never lost against someone at the same level as me. You can't compete with me now, said Xian Yuan proudly and aggressively. Neither have I. I can easily defeat people like Yang Ziyi if they're of the same level as me. I can use the force of the earth and sky, shouted Lin Feng. Force rolled in the air and condensed in Lin Feng's body, then he threw himself at Xian Yuan. Die! Xian Yuan shouted furiously. Their fists collided again. The mountains around them turned to ashes. Arg! Boom boom boom. It was as if the sky was going to collapse. Many people had forgotten about their own fights at that moment, they were captivated by Lin Feng and Xian Yuan's battle. In such a short time, they had shown so much power. They did all they could to become imperial cultivation disciples. The crowd thought that no matter who won, both of them were geniuses. Unfortunately, one of them wouldn't become an imperial cultivation disciple. Alright, you can be proud of yourself because our fight is still equal. Luckily, you studied a new technique in the palace. I will show you what it's like to have incredible understanding abilities, said Xian Yuan smiling. He moved farther away from Lin Feng and raised his fist while condensing strength inside. How strong! Both studied for 2 hours, and Xian Yuan understood his technique way better than Yang Zilan, thought the crowd. Xian Yuan, with the strength of the first Tian Qi layer, was showing incredible power. Is that so? Show me then. Said Lin Feng, who raised his fists too. He condensed more energies as well. What an explosive power, thought the crowd. They were shivering. Lin Feng had punched Jiang Ning and expelled him in the blink of an eye. I'll destroy you, shouted Xian Yuan furiously and punched the air in front of him. Bzzz. The earth shook and Xian Yuan's fist disappeared in the air, but the strength was still palpable. Empty space fist, the crowd was astonished. Xian Yuan's fist had disappeared but it was still there. At the same time, Lin Feng enveloped his finger with the force of the earth and sky. The crowd could sense the two fighters' energies. Bzzz. His finger disappeared as well. Empty space finger, the crowd was astonished. Lin Feng had done the same as Xian Yuan. He had learnt an empty space technique too. Incredible. Bzzz. Terrifying forces rolled in waves around them. Their attacks reappeared at the same time and more energies rose up in the sky. Two beasts, the crowd was more and more astonished. Those two cultivators were incredible. They also had a similar level of understanding. They were smarter than anyone else there, it seemed. It's alright, but I already know that. You're disappointing me, said Lin Feng in an indifferent way. Xian Yuan looked at Lin Feng coldly. He hadn't thought that Lin Feng was so strong. His cultivation level was higher than Lin Feng's, so he should have understood the mysterious marks of the palace much better, but it wasn't the case. Lin Feng, with the strength of the fourth Tian Qi layer, had understood those marks just as well as him. You have high understanding abilities. Unfortunately, you're not from a rich and noble family, so your blood and your spirit aren't as good, otherwise, you'd be a real genius. If we could use all our powers, you'd have lost already. Many people could even defeat you easily. However, in front of me, you're still an insect, even if we both have the strength of the first Tian Qi layer, said Xian Yuan. He appeared happy, but seemed to think that it was a pity that Lin Feng wasn't the member of a rich and noble family. Lin Feng's talent were wasted. Lin Feng looked at him and smiled. If I could use all my powers, I'd show you that your so-called talent is useless in front of me. You have nothing to be proud of. You practiced cultivation longer than me. If we had progressed in the same environment, I'd be much stronger than you. The crowd enjoyed listening to them talk. They were both proud. Lin Feng even said that Xian Yuan wasn't particularly good. I wonder how Lin Feng can act as arrogantly in front of Xian Yuan, thought the crowd. They had the feeling that Lin Feng was a bit too confident. Xian Yuan was incredible and had imperial blood. Once outside of the illusion, Xian Yuan could easily kill Lin Feng, especially with his blood strength and spirit. You're just showing off. Too bad we can't fight with our full power. I'd show you that you're ridiculous otherwise, said Xian Yuan coldly. Apart from bragging, what else can you do? Let's finish the battle, okay, replied Lin Feng. In the air, Ho Qinglin smiled when he heard them and said, since you're both so confident, I'll give you one chance. You can give it a try. Chapter 1031, Insane Battle, The crowd didn't understand. He was allowing Lin Feng and Xian Yuan to give it a try. Ho Qinglin was allowing them to fight in normal conditions, but if one of them lost, wouldn't it be unfair? They wouldn't be able to become imperial cultivation disciples. I allow you to fight in normal conditions, you can use anything you want. Of course, everybody saw how strong you both are, so I already consider that you both passed the exam. I suppose nobody has anything to say against that, said Ho Qinglin looking at the crowd. Everybody nodded. Of course they didn't mind. If Xian Yuan or Lin Feng stayed in the illusion and continued the exam, they would have the opportunity to fight against them too, and nobody wanted to fight against them. Alright, haha. Awesome. We can fight as we wish, said Xian Yuan laughing. Lin Feng, I will give you an opportunity to show everyone your abilities. Ridiculous, said Lin Feng when he heard Xian Yuan making fun of him. He then said coldly, I will just show you that being arrogant is risky when one isn't strong enough. I can't believe you're so confident. We'll see, said Xian Yuan. He then started walking towards Lin Feng. An incredible strength started flowing in his hand. Even with the strength of the first Tian Qi layer, it was incredible. Even with pure strength, I can defeat you, said Xian Yuan walking towards Lin Feng. You're the only one who thinks that way, said Lin Feng while condensing blood strength. He also condensed pure qi, the strength of the Haruka and the Buddha. His different sorts of strength started flowing all throughout his body. Lin Feng then walked towards Xian Yuan, fearlessly. Die, shouted Xian Yuan furiously while punching towards Lin Feng. None of them were flinching. Not bad. But, piss off now, shouted Xian Yuan. In a flash, he released his strength. His hair started fluttering in the wind and he looked insane. His punch was even more powerful than with the restrictions. Blood qi. Lin Feng looked at him coldly. He also released his strength of the Haruka and circulated his blood inside his body. His fist looked like a dragon. Piss off, shouted Xian Yuan furiously. His voice was scary and pierced through people's eardrums painfully. Both of them were propelled backwards. A distance of a few hundred meters appeared between them. The crowd didn't understand. Lin Feng's blood seemed powerful too. Xian Yuan didn't have the advantage. Xian Yuan was surprised too. He sensed Lin Feng's blood, it was quite strong. His facial expression changed. He thought he would crush Lin Feng in the blink of an eye with his blood strength, but things weren't happening that way. Even with his imperial blood, he didn't have the advantage. It seems like I need to use some special methods to gain the advantage, said Xian Yuan coldly. A hurricane appeared and collided with the sword and fire chi. People gasped with amazement. Level 7 sword intent, level 6 fire intent, and level 6 wind intent, is that enough? Asked Lin Feng. The crowd was speechless. 3 different sorts of intent, level 7 sword intent, and level 6 wind and fire intent, that was scary. Lin Feng mastered 3 different types of intent at such a high level even though he had only broken through to the 4th Tian Qi layer. Stop talking and fight, we'll see if it's enough, yelled Xian Yuan. He ran towards Lin Feng in the air. His intent and force of the earth and sky were becoming thicker and thicker. Lin Feng's sword, fire and wind energies also condensed using the strength of the earth and sky. Together, all those energies were even more powerful. Die, shouted Xian Yuan. His chi was moving towards Lin Feng with an incredible speed. Boom boom. The sky and earth seemed like they were going to collapse. Both Lin Feng and Xian Yuan were propelled backwards. Rumbling sounds spread in the air. As before, Xian Yuan hadn't managed to take the advantage. Chapter 1032, Two people's corporeal bodies. The energies slowly dispersed. Xian Yuan was staring at Lin Feng coldly, but said nothing. They had been fighting for a while, but he hadn't gained the advantage once. He couldn't say anything. All he could do to show everyone he was the best was to kill Lin Feng, otherwise nobody would believe him. Also, that was the only way to prove to himself that he was the strongest and that nobody could defeat him. This time, Xian Yuan was furious. Lin Feng looked cold and detached. He looked neither happy nor sad, neither furious nor exhilarated. Disciples of rich and powerful clans couldn't compete with people who had imperial blood, that was a fact. Xian Yuan's abilities were really incredible. That's why he acted so arrogantly. Even in front of Ho Qinglin and Mu Chen, he acted arrogantly and fearlessly. He just hoped he would surpass them someday. That kind of person had only one goal, to become an emperor. Lin Feng wasn't scared though. He had seen great emperors, he had been in the Jade Emperor's palace and saw the 4 statues. All of them were emperors and great emperors. He had seen the 3 lives Demon Emperor and the Demon Emperor in the Death Valley. Xian Yuan wanted to become an emperor. Lin Feng didn't only hope to become an emperor, he wanted to become a great emperor. Bzzz. In the air, Xian Yuan moved again. His hand streaked across the sky as a trail of energy appeared. Bzzz, another wave of energy appeared. A word appeared in the sky, the word Xian. Around the word, there was an incredible amount of energies. Even the crowd who was very far away could sense those energies. Xian Yuan didn't stop though. He wrote another word in the sky, Yuan, what an incredible strength. Those are mysterious holy marks. He wrote his own name using them, how incredible, how majestic, thought the crowd. This time, what would Lin Feng do? When they looked at Lin Feng, they saw that he looked calm and detached. He slowly lowered his head and then raised his head. Lin Feng also started moving his hands. The marks he left in the sky contained an incredible and seemingly infinite amount of energy which was undulating and changing. Deadly energies emerged from those marks. Lin Feng can do it too, thought the crowd. People were even more surprised. Xian Yuan and Lin Feng had many spells and techniques to draw from. The Xian Yuan word became more distinct now. Its oppressive power intensified as well. Lin Feng wrote a word too. He wrote the word die in the sky. It contained incredible sword energies. The word Xian Yuan also contained Xian Yuan's intent. Lin Feng's word contained sword energies. Xian Yuan raised his head and looked at Lin Feng's word. He sighed, but continued condensing energies into his word. I wouldn't have thought that I would need to use real and genuine blood strength against you. It is the first time I have had to do that against someone of your level. Xian Yuan said slowly. Finally, Xian Yuan was going to show what his blood strength really looked like. Finally, Lin Feng was going to be defeated. However, he could already be proud that he had managed to fight that long against Xian Yuan. Xian Yuan raised his hand and dispersed the terrifying energies. The word Xian Yuan disappeared too. Lin Feng looked at Xian Yuan and smiled. He raised his hands too. His word die disappeared as well. Then, Xian Yuan released his blood strength which emitted whistling sounds. I will show you how an emperor fights. Even if you lose, you can be proud of yourself, said Xian Yuan slowly. His body gradually turned into an illusion as if he was changing bodies. He looked domineering, majestic and powerful. He looked like an emperor as his blood strength emerged. That was imperial blood. His flesh contained imperial strength. There was nothing he couldn't do. At that moment, Xian Yuan looked dignified as if nobody could stop him. Even with the strength of the first Tian Qi layer, he looked incredible. With his real strength of the 7th Tian Qi layer and his incredible imperial blood, he would have been even more terrifying. The crowd couldn't even imagine. With the body of an emperor, one of my punches is enough to kill someone of the same level, said Xian Yuan. Xian Yuan was now acting as if he were a real emperor. I told you, in my eyes, you're the same as everybody else. You're just a cultivator, that's all, said Lin Feng indifferently. Lin Feng's body also started turning into an illusion. He was bathing in golden lights. Very quickly, Lin Feng turned into an ancient Buddha. He looked majestic, dignified, domineering. Then, he turned into a Haruka and he was suddenly surrounded by demonic and ice-cold energies. People's hearts started racing. Lin Feng's body was flashing, 1 second he had the form of a Buddha, the other he had the form of a Haruka. Ho Qing Lin was surprised as well. His eyes were twinkling. In the continent of the 9 clouds, only one person had such a body. It was the 3 Lives Demon Emperor who had practiced the 3 Lives Buddha Demon skills and he was extraordinary. There were 3 people in one body, each body was incredibly strong. They all had the strength of a great emperor. At that moment, surprisingly, Lin Feng reminded him of the 3 Lives Demon Emperor. Lin Feng's demonic energies were intensifying at that moment. He looked like a demon and his body was becoming even more distinct. Xian Yuan looked like an overlord and Lin Feng looked like a death god. Lin Feng uses the demon Buddha form to benefit the most from the demonic energies and to hide something. I see, thought Ho Qing Lin. But what did Lin Feng want to hide? Did he want to hide a demonic skill? Did Lin Feng have a powerful demonic skill? Alright, Xian Yuan was fixedly staring back at Lin Feng. He hadn't thought that Lin Feng could also turn into a demon. Lin Feng wasn't any weaker than him at that moment. From now on, I will never say you're an insect ever again, however, I will still kill you. Chapter 1033, Do you regret? You want to kill me, said Lin Feng looking like a demon. He then added coldly, ridiculous, can you kill me? Your demonic body is powerful, but is your corporeal body strong enough? If you don't have powerful skills and strength to back them up, can you defeat me, said Xian Yuan proudly. He then started running forwards again. In a flash, he arrived in front of Lin Feng and punched the air in his direction. He first wanted to see how resistant Lin Feng's Haruka body was. Could he break Lin Feng's bones with just his imperial strength? Boom boom. A loud spread in the air as well as terrifying energies. Lin Feng could barely breathe for a second. That wasn't the strength of the first Tian Qi layer, that was much stronger. Even cultivators of the third and fourth Tian Qi layer couldn't withstand that attack. Demonic energies rose up in the air. Lin Feng slowly raised his hands and punched back at Xian Yuan's fist this time. A very loud and strident sound spread in the air. Xian Yuan's facial expression was very serious. Even though he had a strong corporeal body, Lin Feng's strength of the Haruka blocked him. That was impressive to say the least. Xian Yuan suddenly released energies from his hand. He rose up in the air and looked at Lin Feng from above. "I'll show you what real strength looks like," said Xian Yuan coldly. He started condensing more energies in his fist as a gigantic imperial hand appeared above. "Sky-killing hand. Die!" shouted Xian Yuan furiously. That terrifying and gigantic hand was dazzling, it seemed like it could bear the weight of the sky alone. "Gigantic demon hand," shouted Lin Feng furiously. A gigantic demon hand appeared in the sky. "Your hand can't block mine," said Xian Yuan, throwing himself at Lin Feng. Boom boom. If the demonic hand was destroyed, Lin Feng would be in a bad position. The demon qi was enough to suffocate some people. "Great celestial demonic skill, die," shouted Lin Feng. He rose up in the air. Boom boom boom, the imperial hand wasn't enough to block the demon hand. Xian Yuan had a strong corporeal body, but he was propelled backwards anyway. Lin Feng ran in the air and stood above Xian Yuan. He glared down at him coldly. His pupils were pitch black. The crowd shivered when they saw Lin Feng's eyes. "You took all the initiatives, you thought you were incredible, and you thought you could kill me. Let me tell you something, you can't kill me, but I can kill you," Lin Feng announced loud and clear. Was Lin Feng really that scary? People remembered that Lin Feng had climbed up the 9 groups of stairs. Initially, everybody thought that it was impossible, but in the end, Lin Feng did it. Now, everybody thought that Lin Feng would die easily, but they had been battling for who knows how long and Xian Yuan wasn't looking so hot anymore. "Demon Fury, die," shouted Lin Feng furiously. Pitch-black energies rolled in the air. In a flash, a terrifying demonic hand moved towards Xian Yuan emitting terrible demonic sounds. Xian Yuan was petrified. What was going on? Lin Feng wasn't only condensing energies into his demonic body, he also had incredible skills. Had Lin Feng learnt special demonic skills? "No matter if we're the same level or not, I'm the only one who kills others. You will absolutely not kill me. Die," shouted Xian Yuan furiously. He rose up in the air quickly and released his blood strength once more. "I will be the exception," said Lin Feng, looking terrifying with his pitch-black pupils. "Insane demon, arg," shouted Lin Feng furiously. His demonic body looked extremely scary. It was as if the earth and sky were quivering in fear. Millions of demons seemed to be baring their fangs and brandishing claws. Xian Yuan trembled, he actually looked scared. "1,000 demons, 1,000 claws," said Lin Feng in a demonic voice. All those hands emitted whistling sounds as they fused together. Then, they surrounded Xian Yuan. Lin Feng looked merciless. He kept moving his hands. He looked scary. Lin Feng condensed some explosive strength in his hands and said, "Demon destruction, destroy." Bzzz. Xian Yuan felt immobilized, as if his flesh was corroding away. Lin Feng's demon destruction attack contained corrosive energies and acted as a sort of cage as well. "Piss off." Xian Yuan released more energies. However, Lin Feng looked unperturbed. He continued condensing his demonic energies. "Destroy," said Lin Feng. An explosive force crashed onto Xian Yuan's body again. "Destroy, destroy, destroy," Lin Feng's voice echoed across the battlefield, deep and horse-like. Lin Feng continued to condense incredible demon energies and barrage Xian Yuan with them. Arg! Xian Yuan released his spirit. He was stuck in Lin Feng's demon destruction cage, he had no choice but to release his spirit. The crowd looked incredulous. Xian Yuan, who had imperial blood and a strong corporeal body, needed his spirit to escape the demon's constriction. Lin Feng had the advantage now. "Do you think your spirit can still help you?" said Lin Feng in a deep voice. His voice was piercingly cold. "Destruction, die," said Lin Feng. In a flash, his explosive power surrounded Xian Yuan. Slash, slash, terrifying sounds spread in the air as everybody was staring at Xian Yuan. Lin Feng's demonic qi seemed unfathomable. Arg! Xian Yuan looked at the sky. How? His body was being corroded. Was he going to lose? His eyes were red. He couldn't give up. However, Lin Feng looked at him expressionless. "Don't think that because you have imperial blood or more experience that you can kill me so easily. If Master Ho Qing Lin hadn't said that we were both qualified already, I'd be willing to say that you're qualified to become an imperial cultivation disciple." Lin Feng said. Xian Yuan's brow twitched. Arg! He shouted furiously and his body slowly disappeared from the illusion. Lin Feng had won.